right, folks. All right, let's lower that. What's up? It is Sports Goofs number 102. I'm Francisco, joined by Charles right now. Andrew's got a thing, so he will not join us for this one. It's been 2 weeks since we were last on. Stuff has happened, and I gotta say a thing right now. We are the affiliates of Pirani's Hockey World. All right, the customer is number one over there for them. They will continue to provide the best customer service, lowest price, and largest product selection. Culmination of all their experience and hard work has resulted in an ever-growing website with better features, even more information and content, and a continuing push to provide you with all of your hockey needs. They boast the lowest prices and biggest selection of all the new products, the lowest prices and biggest selection of closeout and prior year products. Check out our website, and you'll see the banners all over our homepage. Click on there, get yourself some nice hockey gear. Charles always loves to get a nice deal on anything he buys out there. So
I'm looking for some nice cups to handle these pucks. All right, because we're back at the gym. And if Prada's Hockey, if I said that correctly, has it, they can take care of my gear. You know, if you want to take care of your gear, folks, you got to go to the place that knows how to deal with specialty of gear. And if you love hockey, and we love hockey right now, Francisco and Andrew love hockey 24/7. Charles likes hockey when he likes hockey. You know, now is the time to strike. Get it while it's hot. Don't wait to go to the mall. Do they also sell any kind of sports-related memorabilia, or is it just hockey gear?
it's hockey gear, man.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't you want like a Winnipeg Jets cup though? I mean, that'd be cool.
Well,
But you're talking about real.
I don't think any Winnipeg fans are popping out anytime soon right now.
Oh, they're popping in. You know, don't be a paper tiger, folks. Get yourself the real stuff.
Yeah.
Go to that website.
Yeah, hockeyworld.com. Just go there. Boom. They got your jerseys. They sell jerseys, man. If you want your hockey
Look
jerseys.
at that. Don't wait till the mall.
Got practice
It's not
jerseys,
safe
got
to
game
go
jerseys.
back.
They have all of the styles. If you want, you want to get your beer league team going. Like, man, I really like the Dallas Stars colors and stuff. Let's add our beer league team on there. So
You can go to my adopted team, the Boston Bruins, because Brad Marchand, because I am going all in on being a bad guy.
So, anyways, yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's been things have happened.
And
Hockey.
we're back.
Oh yeah.
We're back, kids.
Oh my God. Oh. So how's the gym, by the way?
I guess we're going into this where, well, you know, life is a sport. My body is a sport. And I'm trying to go Tom Brady on this end effort, where I am going for all the gold, all the rings. We're not going for 7, we're going 8, 9, or 10. We're Michael Jordan for this stuff. Gym's good. I'm like the only person wearing a mask there. I'm fully vaccinated. And people are looking at me like, you know, I've had a few older people ask me why I'm still wearing a mask. And I can't hear them because I have my headphones on. So I'm not trying to be rude. But then, you know, I bring several bottles of water, my own, because I want to go from there. But I love it. It's great. It's probably the equivalent of how superstars say they miss the fans and they get the fans back in for like the energy, even though I believe that's a falsity in professional sports. I believe in college and I believe in wrestling. But it is good. We are on week 3. I'm on a bulking cycle. I'm not trying to get too big, but you know, we're on a 100 gram of protein powder per day along with the natural foods I take in. I'm back to lifting heavy weights. The soreness is kind of going. We started week 3 Sunday, and the schedule kind of goes for me where it's chest weights. You know, we're talking about real barbells and dumbbells, guys. So like the week 1, the strength was there, the muscle endurance was not. Buddy, it was not. You know, chest and legs. I was like, because I do that. You know, I've sent you the workout routine. I have a little altered, but some days it's chest and arms and some cardio. You know, we're talking about 3.5, 4 miles. I'm glad to be back on the treadmill because my left foot does not hurt that much anymore compared to concrete. Mondays it's a leg day, so my cardio is the bike, and then we're doing the rows. Wednesdays gonna be shoulders and arms, and then we're do some cardio in there, so 3 to 4 miles, so 39 to 40 plus minutes. You know, because on the treadmill, it's not the same anymore. I don't care about getting that 9-minute mile like I used to. I'm gonna alternate Thursdays, just run out in the free world. Fridays is off day. Saturday's back, baby. Let me tell you something. Your boy blood is back. Not in a good way, the way that you young perverts out there in the community internet world like it. Your boy deadlifted 265 for like the first time in a year and a half. Saturday, and I
Yeah.
regretted it.
Oh.
So my non-sponsors is going to be kind of funny when we come in. That's right, folks. We have segments.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
That's right.
that's all I'm saying. How
Yeah.
is your health? Because here at Sports Goofs, we care about sports. We also care about physical fitness.
Well, that's
What's
that's kind of
your-
been the theme for the last couple of months between you and me. We've been talking a lot about that. Unfortunately, my cousin has kind of been going to work more earlier than normal, so
Whoa.
I'm not freeloading off that UFit
5 in the
membership
morning
that he's got. So
mentality.
even though I absolutely hate everything about getting up that early, but it was fine the first week that I was there. I have to get back to using the weights that I have here at home. However, thanks to, I guess, consistency, my metabolism is back. So
Yep.
I'm able to eat things that are, I had Taco Bell today, man. I mean, sheesh, man. So,
Have you had the workout poopy poops yet? Those are always the best when you're going
no,
to a full-blown gym. Oh, man.
oh no, that's not me. I only go once per day, and it's in the morning, and it's a ritual. I have all kinds of new rituals now. That's not, but no,
Day, you make me feel like I have to go to the doctor. I wish we had a polling system.
Yeah.
What is a normal bowel movement to you, to everybody else?
but no, it's been. I guess mostly, I mean, the cardio has been great for me. That's for sure. I mean, I've been showing you, I'm going faster now. Going a lot faster, trying to get that under that 10 minutes for my first mile when I'm running out there, and I am going in the hottest of hot heat, 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, that is terrible. It's great though because I love the challenge.
Yeah.
I love the challenge of it with that heat.
Yeah.
I burn and I look like one of the VeggieTale characters.
Oh yeah, today I was let's see, I had the black shirt on with the black sweatpants, and black in the Florida heat is not really great. With the sleeve on the one arm and the solid snake bandana on as well, and yeah, no, that it's been. I did that yesterday. I did that a couple days ago, and just my right arm, which is the only one that's exposed, is starting to get darker compared to the rest of my body.
Let me ask you, when you were going to UFit, were you wearing a mask as you worked out? Because that's the real challenge. Breathing through that son of a gun. When
Oh
you
no,
start sweating.
I took it off. I took it off.
I feel like my heart. By running with a mask on and working out with a mask on, I better like toughen my heart muscles as well, and every vessel and aorta and everything for all the bad stuff I've done for years, taking all that pre-workout and drinking hardcore for 10 years. I better add on another 10 years because part of me is like tempted to, and I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes where I cheat a little bit if I'm boxing because I got back to the heavy bag too. That hurts because my body is not back for that whatsoever.
Someone's back, and it's Freddie. He says we were back after an extended absence. We should rebrand as the USFL. So
United Sports Goof League, USGL.
Yeah,
Always
USGL.
a possibility.
That could work. That could work.
Trademark that.
But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we can talk about working out. I mean, sheesh, man. It's been quite a journey for me. And look, I've lost 30 pounds this year, so that is nothing to scoff at whatsoever. That is, I'm trying to get that last 10, Charles. I'm trying to get that last 10.
I pegged you. I said once. Let me rephrase that to you. Internet pervs. It's not that kind of peg. I said the target weight that we were looking for was 170, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's at.
Those 10 pounds. The thing is, the more you exercise, the more the more that muscle's going to convert too. So that's when you got to get a scale. That has proper BMI.
Oh yeah, the leg muscles are definitely getting
the
there.
Booty's popping, kids. The booty's popping for him.
But hey, man, it's great, man. Sheesh, go exercise, man. If you're ever struggling, man, just go out for a walk, go out for a jog. Sheesh, man. I've been it's been losing all this weight. I mean, sheesh. I told you, my wardrobe has opened up. There's just a massive amount of shirts that I'm like, whoa, where did these come from? Some nice retro shirts, some nice actual shirts that I can wear to work. I'm not I'm trying to actually try when I go outside, and put on some sort of effort to to look presentable to the world out there. I got the beard going and nice and trim as well.
Okay, so you're not caveman yet.
Oh, no caveman whatsoever. No, I hate that look. No, this is nice and trim. All right, very, very, very. I guess Miami. I'm not even sure if you can say that, but no, not with
yes,
this.
you can. For anybody who's lived in Miami, it's Miami. I know what it is.
Yeah, but not like.
Just get the line on your hair, and we'll get you some tribal tattoos. Please, please do it. Please, you're becoming it, man. You know that episode? Which episode of South Park was it where Cartman's like transforming? Damn it, I forgot which.
Which one?
There's like one where he's because also I was thinking about the Aqua Teen Hunger Force where Meatwad's bitten by the radioactive black guy.
Oh yeah. No, that was Shake. That was Shake. That was Shake.
It was Shake, not Meatwad. Sorry, it was Shake. But there was one Cartman was just having like a master trans. No, it wasn't Cartman. It was Kyle when the Jersey kids came down. And then
he wanted to be a tall black kid.
No. It's the one where he finds out that Kyle finds out his mom's from Jersey.
Oh,
and then that's the Jersey Shore spoof episode. Yeah. It's like, that's a Jersey thing. And he's like being compelled to pop off his collar, put on the rings, get a whole bunch of I don't even think it's putty, just straight up pomade. But that's gonna be you. You're gonna get the Miami classifications for those who do not live in Miami world. Tribal tattoos. Everybody calling each other bruh. Hey, bro, what's going on, bro?
God.
You're going to get the line in your hair on the left side, never on the right side.
And the line in the eyebrow, too.
Oh, the line in the eyebrows. You're going to get one single ornament or accessory, whether it be an earring, an eyebrow ring, a big-ass chain. It's due, man. If you live in Miami, you're born in Miami, that came out of your brother's vagina, too. It wasn't your umbilical cord. It's your chain, baby. Hairy-ass knuckles.
Okay. Okay.
It's a Jersey thing. Freddie gets it.
Oh my God.
So you're right of passage there. You're gonna come back next time I see you. You're gonna have fully situated them tribal tattoos. You're gonna wear very tight white beaters, which I already do as is. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God. And okay, so when I was going through my old wardrobe and just finding these shirts that now fit me after years, like 5 years or something, man. And I found the tank tops. I'm like, oh boy, these are tattered and everything. I mean, nothing like Smelter, which you can get like on your PS4, your 5, your Xbox Series X or the One. Download it on PC. Hey, get on your Switch, man. Get on your Switch, and then you'll be able to play it on that Switch Pro that everybody says is gonna come out. It's already out. It's out April 22nd. So go try that out. All right, Steam, Humble, Bumble, whatever, all that stuff. It's on there. So, yeah, man. But no, it's been good. The eating is what I'm trying to stave off because you start feeling good and it's like, hey, maybe I could take it easy and have this and that. I gotta watch it, man. It's a slippery slope. It's a massive slippery slope, especially for me. So. I'm trying as hard as I can to avoid going back to the old ways.
Does it sound terrible when I tell you that my ass just literally came from Walmart and I stocked up on 3 things that is the curse for anybody trying to lose weight? Butter bread. I love butter bread.
Oh yeah.
It's either, especially if it's like Arnold's bread. Love it because I eat a lot. Saving money means not going out to eat at lunch a lot, and I'm like, all right, now we're in the phase where I'm like the next 5-6 months I plan on just saving as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I gotta get the right kind of bread. I bought Oreos, of course, because I ran out. So I needed my double stuff, and then I bought Ding Dongs. I don't know why. I was craving them, and I needed that because I burn a lot of calories, man. It's just plain and simple, and your boy needs it. I had one before the show because we were doing our hokey pokey of figuring out if we're going on or not. I'm like, I'm hungry, but I'm not gonna leave to get food and rush my dinner, so I'm gonna eat this Ding Dong. They changed the formula. I'm telling you right now, either they changed the formula or I've had it in so long it doesn't have the same appealing
Well,
taste.
that's the thing. That's the thing with those sweets. All right, we're gonna get on this. We're gonna get this.
Yeah, and for anybody who's new to the show or listening to the podcast, if it's a Francisco and Charles show,
oh yeah,
food, we could do the food draft, but we can make
Andrew.
it into a
Andrew keeps us on a steady like. Okay, this is a sports show. Let's talk about sports and stuff. You know, he's got the. I swear he was going to talk about like the college baseball playoffs and all that stuff that was going on. And I was like, nah. I've scrapped that. No college baseball playoffs.
I watched some of it though because here's the thing. Now that I'm back at the gym instead of working out at home,
oh, you see the highlights.
I was watching the women's Seminoles versus Alabama for the women's baseball World Classic, whatever it's called. There's too many sports going on, but it was good. Like I can get back into it, man. I'm a watch back soccer because that's the only time it's on is like Saturdays on my gym. That's the only time I watch it.
Yeah.
I'll even watch cars make left turns if I have to because I got to do something on the treadmill aside from listening to my audiobooks because I'm a video, audio, visual learner. And so it works in. So I can listen to Harry Dresden and also go from there. Have the snacks, just pay attention to portions. Thank you. Thank you, View. That's my whole thing. I think I told that to Francisco. We were going on the tour. But it's hard with Oreos because, hear me out here. If I have a small cup of milk, I'm probably getting 2 to 4 Oreos. But if my dumb ass picks the big glass of milk, it's over. It's like 6. It's like 6 to 8. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
Oh, you know what I do? I call it my diabetes cocktail. Sometimes, if I'm feeling really frisky, I'll buy that Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'll buy the pack of the Oreos, and I will just stuff the Oreos with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch and just crunch that thing all, and just
we have a Death Wish?
It is literal pig slop, and it is absolutely like I can feel my heart stop when I
like I've never heard of that, and I'm like
my kidneys. I have no idea. With my liver, whatever is going on in my body, there is not enough insulin that will get me back to normal after one of those. Because
I mean, goddamn.
Oh my god! If I want a healthier version of that, I use it with Rice Krispies because gotta watch that cholesterol.
You know what? Power ranking time. Rice Krispie treats really low, really low.
Really, that was my go-to snack at law school at the vending machine in the whatever the lounge room or whatever.
Well, you see, in my time of law school, it was the how can I hate myself even more kind of snacking. So that's why I had the big old
the honey bun.
Basically, no, I love that shit. But the big old jars of the honey roasted almonds and then the non-flavored almonds that you get at Walmart, the great value size. Because why back then? That's when I was doing my stronger powerlifting. So bigger boy coming into it and getting the nutrition. Now I'm like, I don't care. I'm like 148. I'm gonna eat whatever the hell I want and go from there. But Rice Krispie treats low, and I think 2 reasons why. I think they're too sticky for me. And I know it's weird because I love my honey buns, but it's a different kind of sticky.
I think with Rice Krispies treats,
you can do a lot with them.
If you do it homemade, it's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than the processed version that they sell.
Okay, I can get that because I would like boil Fruit Loops. I'm incompetent with the kitchen sometimes. You're the registered chef. I'm basically like the homeless guy who thinks 3-day-old bananas are okay. So I don't know. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
Power rankings: Rice Krispie treats on the low.
Okay, so I went, and there's no structure to the show whatsoever. So BU, Freddie.
Yeah, there will be
we might sprinkle in like, hey, Montreal Canadiens just swept the Winnipeg Jets, and Toronto Maple Leafs are an embarrassment.
Charles is all Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting it in there, man.
Surprisingly, though. Okay, so me and Andrew, because Andrew's been hanging out in my office to study and stuff like that. So we've been like going out to grab lunch or grab dinner or whatever. And so we for some reason after the Leafs lost that series, we've been seeing people wearing Leafs gear around where we're grabbing lunch and stuff. And I'm like,
why?
Where? I'm like, these. I guess maybe they came from Canada recently. Maybe they were so ashamed that they left Canada and came down to Florida and don't want to be anywhere in Ontario for the summer. I'm not even sure. They were a reverse snowbird in a way, I guess. I'm not sure, but Leafs fans have been noticeable down here in South Florida, which is like, I know the Panthers lost in the first round, but I actually feel sorry for Leafs fans.
Yeah, it's almost the equivalent of like another South Florida team that lost in the first round. I don't even feel bad as that fan base. Ooh, did you think we were gonna lose, Jack?
Ooh.
Because we
I
won
mean,
the
I don't know
first
if you
round.
noticed the matchup that's on the screen. If for those who's not watching it, in the audio version of this, it's NBA in the show or something like that for the N64. It just happens to be the back then New Jersey Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
And kids,
That
unlike the real world, this is a virtual game because that score was never close,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
Never close. Ooh, wait till the power ranking of my favorite thing, humble pie.
Ooh, yeah, and there is I didn't even add a description for this. I just put our SG 102, and there's a big giant piece of pie, or pie in the background. That's
So basically, you treat this like a season finale of a TV show where you're not given a scintilla of a storyline because you don't want to spoil it. And this is perfect, kids. Because if we're going off the beaten path, that's how you can tell on the podcast show. You know,
Ooh, I like Freddie's retort there. As far as Leafs, oh man, Leafs fans. I'll tell you this, and I talked with Andrew about this. Like I honestly wouldn't mind Montreal even winning the Stanley Cup right now because
so how are we
they're
doing this? Canada's opening the borders back for the sports, right? From what I checked the other day
I get I don't know, yeah, something like that.
for hockey.
I would I mean that's yeah, because at some point the like after, well, now that the Canadians are done, they're gonna reseed and they're probably gonna face either Vegas or Colorado. So that's that's the exception. Yeah, that's yeah. You just said it. It's the exception right now. So I doubt it's gonna apply to like the Blue Jays who are playing in Buffalo right now. They moved up from their spring training place to Buffalo again, and I guess they're just kind of sitting there waiting until they can head back. But anyway, they're tearing down their stadium anyway, so it doesn't even matter. They might as well just stay in Buffalo for the next 2 years. But man, yeah, I don't mind Montreal doing what they're doing because it's kind of, I mean, they haven't won forever. They're kind of like the New York Yankees of the NHL, anyways. Except the Yankees have never had a drought as long as this, even though after the past weekend, it seems like
I got words.
you guys, Yankee fans, it seems as if it's a long drought. Actually, it kind of is for you guys. It's been
I mean, but what is a drought? And this is, I guess, this is how we're gonna go. Like we're gonna go
18 years. Let's just say
yeah,
that for my team.
yeah, we're gonna go philosophy wise here. Any Socrates, Plato, all this other fun stuff. What is a drought? Because for a team that's basically perennially in
Yeah.
the playoffs, and 2 out of 4, 2 out of 3 years
Yeah, American
in
League
the
Championship
AL,
Series.
yeah, championship. I'm like expectations, and I understand sports fans, especially in New York, don't have expectations. But to speak of somebody who was able
Knicks
to,
fans.
oh, don't worry,
Ooh.
that's the kid
Ooh.
who's able to kind of cater certain emotions. It could be worse. It could be much worse. The Buffalo Bills were that team that you felt sorry for in such a long time, right? If you're looking at football and how they just couldn't sniff the playoffs for 17 years. The Florida Panthers, coming into just the last time they appeared in a game. There's teams at all levels of sports that have never appeared, and even like a division championship or conference championship never won.
Yeah,
Where
Seattle
do you go
Mariners. Look at
into?
them. They
So,
never went to World
yeah,
Series.
exactly, and they had like hands down some
Oh
of
yeah.
the best teams.
2001 team lost to the
Yeah,
Yankees.
yeah. So it's like I don't take too much into it. I just think that when we're teams that have expectations, I will say this change needs to come. And I don't know if see the problem with baseball, it's not like football and basketball where I think you can say, hey, we're gonna blow it up and it actually might yield some fruit. I like the 76ers. Frauds. But in baseball, that's such a dangerous game that I can never advocate for it because if not, you're going to be stuck like the Cincinnati Reds. You're going to be stuck like the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, that is damnation. What meant blowing up for them for missing the window on a 3-year period with a few star players and competent guys. But I don't think it's bad. But Montreal, I don't know enough about them history-wise, and thankfully I've learned not to talk out my ass. But if they're going good now, they haven't been eliminated yet, right? I have to
No,
verify.
they just swept Winnipeg. So
Oh, they just sort of, that's right. I was watching that the other day. What the hell's going on with me? If anything, they could become like your Kansas City Royals feel good story of a team that you're like, you know what? Good for them. If your team gets eliminated, good for them. Because that's how I felt with the Royals when Yanks were going there. I'm like, please win, please win. They lose that first appearance, and then to the Giants, who are, San Francisco's just a likable team. I can't explain it. And then they win the second one, and you're like, yeah, I could do this. This is great. So that's like the sensation. So good for Montreal. I mean, right now I'm in the Brad Marchand hat because dirtiest player of the game got work for me. Granted, apparently,
he ain't the dirtiest player. He's just
yeah. That's
he's
the thing,
he's gonna. I mean, shit, man.
Marchand.
He's gonna be a. I haven't even thought of that. I have to look at his numbers to see if he's gonna be a Hall of Famer because I mean he's played there long enough. He's gonna get his number retired, obviously, but I have to look at that. I mean, you could probably say better than I can whether Brad Marchand is a Hall of Fame worthy. I mean, Patrice Bergeron before anybody else, but yeah. Oh man, we are awful. It is all over the place.
No, but it's gonna come back to the topic. I promise you, because unlike those playoff rounds.
Yeah, BU's like the Habs being a feel good story. I mean, they were the lowest seed coming into this playoff, so it's kind of weird having like a Cinderella run for a team that's won the most Stanley Cup championships, but they haven't won in 30 something years, almost 30 years. So
but I would say to BU, that's what makes us so good, is because you need investment in any kind of playoff feel and environment. And if you're going to have it,
1-0 already.
Well,
that series is going to be over. Damn it.
I mean, Tampa's kind of scary because it doesn't seem like they've missed a beat.
Yeah, they're going to face who was it? Well, New York Islanders are up 3-2, so.
Come on, Brad Marchand.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Isles, the only thing about the Isles that I think gives them, I think because they played them last season against the Lightning. I think another season with Barry Trotz behind the bench there. I mean, that man has found a way to pick apart the Penguins, and I feel like if he gets another stab at the Lightning, he'll try to find a way to pick them apart too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Bringing it back to Sweets, because this is what it was all coming down.
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Just like the Montreal team, I forget their name right now, Canadians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, I know things. There's some kind of sweets that you feel a craving to that's been a long time.
And that's where the tangent was going. Yeah,
that's where the ding-dongs come in.
Okay, yeah, so all right. So I went to Punta Gorda for like a mini vacation, went to see somebody, and then hung out, whatever, and then so just to get away from Miami for like a day. You want to get away sometimes, just like in Smelter. Eve's being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. She's all pissed off, so you just got try and help her out on your PS5, your 4, your Xbox Series X, your Xbox One, your Switch, or heck, your PC. Why not? All right, you got some of that. Well, what was it? It was a mix of. This game was a mix of a real-time strategy platformer. It was something weird like that. I can't even imagine that. But regardless,
so many things are combined, like your Rice Krispie treats, that it's tough because now things are roguelite, roguelike.
I can't
they're all
even
just
tell.
Dungeon crawlers.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I went there, and so it was late at night, and the only thing open around there is Wawa. So I drove to the Wawa, and I'm just walking in there, and I'm craving. I got a sandwich from them, chicken salad sandwich. Never gonna get that ever again. Don't like their chicken salad mix whatsoever. So
yeah, I if you've seen that episode of Futurama,
too runny for me.
Yeah, you don't eat things from the gas station to a degree.
But maybe not for a while. I mean, but I don't know. It was a little too runny for me. I probably got the last of the slop at the end of that one. But regardless, but I was looking for something sweet, man. I was like, what the hell is here? And I got, oh man, what was it? It's those. It was cupcakes with the glaze on top. It was chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Ho-Hos. Is that what they are?
No. Or some, I don't know, some other brand.
I know
or
which
whatever.
ones you are. It's either Hostess or Little Debbie's. I think Little Debbie's got bought out.
I don't think it was either one of those, but it's those
Entenmann's.
companies you see in the gas station. Yeah, exactly. So, Entenmann's. Oh, the Louisiana crunch cake from Entenmann's. Don't even get me started on that, man.
Buddy, it's that crumb cake, man. Oof.
Yeah.
Tech on that.
I mean, the butter pound cake is, of course, the
Whew.
that is.
Oh, even their lemon cake's good. That's like kissing Jesus right there on a nice day when you're hungover and you need something fresh.
I swear there was. I mean, they used to have stores like actual like Entenmann's stores where they made the stuff fresh. I remember the back then in West Palm Beach when they had one of those. I'm like, oh my god, how does like you walk in like those guys that work there? How does it feel being in heaven right now? You know.
Feels good, man.
How does living that life, making
I
cake?
work there too.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, I would just snack. Oh my god, I screwed up the pound cake, and I'm like, I can't let this go to waste.
Oh yeah, me working at a restaurant was not a great idea when I was 18, 17 years old. Not a great idea for the very obese version of me. But yeah, man. Yeah, that was really, and I was tempted at getting the other stuff, God, man, zebra cakes. They had the zebra cakes, man, and the ones they sell at the gas station are bigger than the ones that come in the box.
Yeah, they'll sell you the travel size.
Yeah, no, but the travel size is bigger than the normal ones. So, if you ever get the chance, I mean, just get one of those. But the calories, man, it is.
I mean, here's the thing too. They got king size candy bars. That stuff's not fair.
Yeah.
You see, like, oh hey, we got the Reese's cups. Okay, what kind of Reese's cups do you have? We have the Reese's cups that could feed like 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what? You're like, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're like, how much is it? $2.39? Yeah, let's just do this.
Like, I hate
Palmer and go from there.
I hate driving. Like for the most part, I guess in the cities, whatever, all that stuff. But I don't mind road trips, and the very reason why is because of the snacking.
Get them combos.
For real, like I used to do the 10-hour drive from Palm Beach to Tallahassee, get back to Florida State, man, and that was always you want to I guess being peaceful in solitude type of moment. You go on a road trip by yourself. And stop by the gas station, grab those snacks, just being a freaking pig inside of your own car. I mean, there's a beauty to that,
It's fantastic.
There's an absolute beauty to that. Yeah, but zebra cakes, and then they have the Christmas cakes whenever that comes around. They switch them out.
When I was at Walmart today getting stuff, I wanted actually Twinkies. I know what they had was not Twinkies, but the Star Spangled Twinkies.
Oh,
I couldn't do it. My love for the country is cut off by limits of you making any kind of fancy for my Twinkies. The only kind of Twinkies I have that I'll take that are variants are regular normal Twinkies or fried Twinkies at the fair. Yeah. I don't play around with any other stuff. You can call it patriotism all you are. You can call it anti-American, but I draw the line. I can't do the sprinkles on the Twinkies. I think it will absolutely 100% ruin the flavor.
Yeah.
I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, because you're gonna bite into it, and it's gonna like completely.
I don't even like. I don't like sprinkles on ice cream. Like what?
Yeah.
The benefit, the purpose. We're debate time. The only purpose that sprinkles has in this world for confectionery purposes is on a donut. I don't even like it on a cake, but I will accept it on a cake, and I might accept it on an ice cream cake. But I don't see the point of it whatsoever. No one ever go and say, I like to have this individual sprinkle.
Right.
When you're on my Twinkie now, I want that fluffy goodness and that cream, man. God, how are we not X-rated sometimes and banned in the show? That's what I want. I want sprinkles on that.
Oh,
pubic hair equivalent.
So me and Andrew were. I don't know. Do they have BurgerFi up there where you're at?
Yeah. I actually went to one of the like. When I came back from the wedding, I went to one I was down in Jupiter, or close to Jupiter, like 15 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
And I had one of the things. It was good, kind of greasy, but I kind of like that. Like, you need a burger to be greasy sometimes. Health nut stuff aside.
Yeah, no. Every once, I mean, I don't eat hamburgers very much. I kind of stopped for whatever reason. I just kind of been mainly just the chicken sandwich kick. That's what I've been doing. But like, BurgerFi's got their their confectionery stuff out there, and oh man, they have these things called concretes, which is basically like diarrhea in a cup, but it's good. It's good. Their red velvet one is absolutely amazing, but that thing runs through me. Like it is. I don't think I've ever had anything that just went from start to finish as far as digestion in my entire life than one of those things.
That's like Charles with a big old bowl of blue cheese on them wings. You're like, well, and it's not even like simple blue cheese. It's the chunky blue cheese that's homemade. And you're like, well,
Yep.
we're gonna die today.
Yep. So, but there's one thing that they were offering. They had Dunkaroo shakes. Okay.
Ugh, man, that's making a callback too.
But the one specific one that's where we're at. I don't know. They don't have it. They never have it. They advertise it on their little screen there. They got the menus on the HD TVs on the top. But they keep advertising it, but they never have it. So I don't know if they ran out of Dunkaroo material. I have no idea. But it's supremely disappointing. And the nearest other BurgerFi is all the way at the beach, and I'm not going to go all the way over there until I move. So that's not going to be a thing. I'm not going to go all the way there for a shake. But yeah, as far as... Okay, so I go to my sister's house, and we have very rarely talked about sports so far.
we talked about hockey.
Yeah, we talked about hockey. Oh yeah, we have yet to get to the NBA.
This is usually a 2-hour show, kids.
And I'm liking this beatdown the virtual Hawks are doing to the Knicks right now.
Oh yeah. that felt so good. Side note.
Let's go.
I absolutely loved seeing the Hawks. Like, you talk about teams that really just played to show the be there in comparison, because we in our state of basketball, if you remember Brendan Rourke, if you listen to our show, we were like, oh, they fired Lloyd Pierce, now they have Nate McMillan, we're really hoping that something good comes into it because there's too much talent. Proving us right. We were all smart people, and at no point did we ever say the Knicks were good. It felt like this season was the product of like the Knicks were just going to be there, because once they got Derrick Rose and traded, I wanted, but it didn't happen. We felt that it was just going to be there, but for them being the 5th seed or the 4th seed, I know they alternated. I never got the 4 or 5, but whatever the Knicks were, I think it was 5, but it was probably 4. No way, shape, or form do I think they would have matched up well with any team, including us, except for like Washington, that they would have won out of the first round. So. Spike Lee leaving, getting called out by Reggie, and for those who don't know basketball history, Reggie is basically like he's the Voldemort. I would say, if I have to put the common connections of this world, he's the Voldemort of New York Knicks fans. He's just gonna go kill some babies, man, and kill Harry Potter, and go from there. Or not even just that. He's just
he's the iconic choke meme.
Oh.
Or GIF.
Breaking everybody's hearts. And I loved it because I never really cared for the Pacers. I never really cared for Reggie back in those days. But it was still interesting. It was a different time, man. It was a different time, different era. There was too many good talents in there.
I mean, yeah.
And so it's harder now. I think if he was a prime player now, he would be the star he should have been. Granted, he had his chance, so let's not make it seem like he never got there. But
yeah.
All relatively.
He got to one finals. That's all.
Yeah.
And once Jordan retired, it was.
But he was probably more disliked in the Garden than Jordan. I would say more than Jordan, more than Isaiah, more than KG,
or anybody on the Heat.
Great. Yeah, that was we didn't really have those kind of jabbers. But
the Heat was more of a team thing. It was Zoe and Hardaway and those guys.
But it just to have him call on Spike Lee, because it just amazed me, and I watched almost all of the games. And this is why I hate living on the East Coast, because the East Coast basketball has been terrible, absolutely atrocious, absolutely just. I
mean, yeah. Look at the first round; it was
just terrible.
The Sixers won 4-1, the Hawks won 4-1. That was fun, at least.
Yeah, I watched all. He got swept, but it doesn't even matter.
No, it does not matter. And
worse than being the fan base of the team that got swept? being the fans of the team that's like showing up as if they even should have been there in the second round.
I mean, that's kind of what happened to the Winnipeg Jets. They swept the Oilers, and then they got swept by the Canadiens. It's like, I guess you guys were just your goalie, and that was it, huh? And
it makes me laugh that the Bucks are doing this bad because what is the reference of the Heat always is referred to as is the team no one wants to play because you know it's going to be a physical grind. We got destroyed in almost every game except for game one, and but we're in your head. Oh, you didn't want to play? You want to play for food? Well, Giannis, I'm gonna tell you something, son. We were just a snack. Your heavy ass was just going there eating jelly beans before you went to the restaurant, and you can't even handle the appetizer. Look, listen, Brooklyn's scary. Brooklyn's looking terrifying. And when we talked about State of the Union for basketball, I remember I ate some humble pie saying I don't know if this was going to be the legitimate thing back when we had John guest starring, and go follow his podcast show. I forgot the name of it. But that was before they got Blake. And what was that? I was like, I want that crotchety old man. Was I not telling you? I wanted that crotchety old man. I wanted Mr. No Knees because Mr. No Knees, you can't do anything in Detroit. But I knew if he had that change of location, now you put Mr. No Knees with Joe Harris and everybody else, that's a scary team even without Harden.
He's not pressured to score. He's just rebounding. Just get up there and get it.
He's going to rebound. He's going to play defense. It's going to work well. But we were just jelly beans. We weren't even the good candy. You know what we were? We were just like that. I gotta get gas. I gotta get food. I gotta drive down to Clematis. I'm gonna get some snacks in there, but it's not even the stuff that Charles and Francisco like. And then you ate too much of us. You had Nerds Candy, another candy I kind of like.
That's a good one. That's a good one to describe.
Yeah, it's like you had your Nerds Candy, and when someone said, "Hey,
a sweet tarts or something like that,"
be like, "Hey, boo, this is the Cheesecake Factory. What would you like as an appetizer?" And you're like, "I can't even eat this mozzarella stick." So, phooey to you because you're gonna lose without James Harden now because he's got just take him out. You don't need him. Durant's unstoppable now, amazing. Kyrie's doing what he has to do, and then you have all the other pieces doing what you need.
Exactly.
So. How are you going to feel in a very scattered shot show, but we told you sports was coming in, we're just going to relate to the food episode. That's what we're calling it, the sweets episode. But how are you going to feel knowing that you're almost fully healthy, you don't have DiVincenzo, boo-hoo, they don't have James Harden. There's a standard of production that's vastly different in that player comparison. And you're just like losing by a lot. What does that say to you? What does that say to Budenholzer? What does that say to Giannis? Because, man, I'm taking back that humble pie. I was humble pie slice one because we're bringing all sweets related. I was going to give it to the Bucks. I legitimately was, Francisco. It was going to happen. I talked that trash. I said I wasn't scared of them. I said Jrue Holiday being on that team meant absolutely nothing because you have a defender, but you don't have a primary scorer after Giannis when Giannis chokes up. I'm not into the Chris Middleton hype. Everybody gets max contracts these days. This is a year's worth of just apoplectic behavior. Big word, kids. We went to law school for and exclamations coming into it. And I was on the point telling you that Giannis should not have been MVP. I said that. I did not see it. I felt that should have been Harden's back-to-back. Because Giannis was 2 times back-to-back. Not like Jokic. We'll talk about that in a second, kids. But I didn't feel that was Giannis to deserve because he just couldn't go for it. And mind you, I don't hate Giannis. I don't hate any player. I mean, granted, there's some peers I do hate. But there's developments that come into it. But we're evaluating talents because that's all we can do. We don't play the sport professionally. But I had talked all this smack for basically the full calendar year, had I not? From the minute we eliminated them till now. That's when it was all coming in. And I was giving them a nice, healthy chunk of humble pie. And humble pie, for the people who don't remember, because we've been out for a little bit, it happens, is when Charles, it's almost like our, Gottlieb's goons, but we're not really being goons. We're just showing some sign of humility. I baked you a pie, and I will eat this slice with you. I will break bread with you of my idiocy or my wrongness. But part of being a commentator in, I guess, the sports world is the way I'll phrase it, even though we're not. We're just guys from law school. They're not lawyers, just trying to, get outside of the law life. For all pleasantries in life is all we can do is just evaluate talent. Here's the thing about evaluation talent: you can be right, you can be wrong. I was ready to give you that piece of pie, and now you're getting blown up by a team that doesn't even have their second best score.
Yep.
I don't feel bad. I'm taking it all back. You get nothing unless you come back now. That is the incentive because you got blown out by almost 50. It's just there was some garbage time coming in. The first match was like meh. And you want to rest your laurels on beating a Heat team and sweeping a Heat team, Bucks fans. It's
A Heat team,
haters,
and I'm going to say
haters.
this. I'm going to say this. A Heat team that never at any point really had their full squad together. So, and also a Heat team that has over the last couple seasons played more than anybody else, along with the Lakers. So
But no, that's giving them the excuses because you know who loves that? The people who call us bubble gangsters. Looking at you, Chuck. I heard you. I love you, and I heard you. And I'm gonna say this now because everybody's gonna be throwing it to us and the Laker fans. And I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, fine, we don't get it. But if you,
I'm just
are
going back to your point that it was just they were snacking on the things and they didn't realize that they haven't even reached the appetizer yet. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, I'm with it. I have to like construe like three segments into one, but it's got to come out because now it's coming in. It's like that diarrhea that you had when you had your confection thing, at BurgerFi. But to bring it all in, y'all want to say that we were only good in the bubble. Fine. But if for the Bucks fans, who are probably more humble than actual NBA Twitter fans, and the Twitter fans who want to talk all that trash on the Heat, but they want to rest on laurels of the season for the Bucks, if they get eliminated for just beating a Heat team and sweeping them, you're just the equivalent of Miami fans and how obnoxious we can be. Calling it right now, how does it feel? To bring it back to your whole purpose, to quote Delaney Walker from 2 years ago, when we beat the Browns in that first game, like 38 to something. You want to crown them? Crown them. You still got to play the game. And look at that. That was good. And they played with it. And I think when we did their State of the Union for basketball, go listen to that episode. Episode 99, 98, maybe one of those two.
Maybe.
We really just says like this does not feel like the Bucks team to be scared of, and it holds true now. I think right now they would match up better with Philly because Embiid's basically working on one knee because he has a torn meniscus, and they're still letting him play. Wade did it too, but Wade had popped it close to the finals?
Yeah.
Close to the finals? There's a lot of basketball play. And you have a guy who has already had a history of knee issues. This doesn't help. But do I want to subject him to further harm? I don't know. But to bring it all back in, that's how I feel about the Bucks. We can get to the frauds in a bit. I've talked a lot, apparently.
Oh no, we are. Let's see. Well, actually, it's just kind of a stream of consciousness that we're doing right now.
But it's focus. It's great.
Oh no, of course. Yeah, this is. I kind of like this getting off the shoot from the hip type of thing. So
this feels like the Jerry Springer, you were my best friend, now you hate me kind of thing. We could just let it all out.
Yeah.
Maury Povich, you're not the father.
Let's see who is playing tonight. Okay, so the Hawks and the Sixers. All right, well, we'll talk about that at some point. The Clippers, who I have on the screen here against the Mavericks. Not the team that I wanted to move on. I wanted the drama if the Clippers had lost that series, but alas, did not happen.
Well, the drama with that Dallas team is just there's nobody on that team but Luka and Tim Hardaway Jr. What's up with Kristaps Porzingis fleecing that Dallas team for $35 million a year when he had no energy and looked sad, and now he wants to just blame not having a team built around him or not given an opportunity to be a stud.
Hey man, that team ain't his. That team is sure as hell.
That team wasn't even yours in New York. Knicks fans just fall in love with anybody who has a good scoring production. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, what happened to Jeremy Lin? Same thing. Yeah. So, let's see. Then, Clips versus Utah. Let's see. Oh, holy shit! The Marlins are actually winning 4-1. Look at that. Hey, look at that. The Astros are spanking the Red Sox for you, Charles. How do you
feel? It's terrible. It's kind of like the lesser of all evils.
Yeah.
It's not when you think about it because there's only like 3 players I don't care for in the Astros, and there's not the magic of the air. Why do we hate the Red Sox? You still were able to have Alex Cora hired back on.
Hey, man.
I will forever be petty to it.
Yep. Yeah, they're half game behind the Rays right now. Rays are playing. What are they playing tonight? I think everybody's playing tonight. Let's see.
It's usually how we start the show. That's how we can tell you how much from the hip that we're
1-1. right now against Washington. So that's a winnable game for them. So you guys play? You guys played the Twins. All right. You sure
We
as
need
hell better
something.
win that game.
We need something.
Yeah. That's a series you got to win. That
I
should
mean,
be a sweep.
Francisco, we took like 2 out of 3 from the Rays. I was feeling really good. And
Mm.
then what happened was we blew every lead in the Red Sox
Yep.
series. Every single bit of it. And I knew it. And I just knew it. I knew Cole was going to have a bad game against the Rays. I was like, oh, do it because it's so typical in baseball. We're going to lose happens. And then, with the Red Sox, I was just like sitting there because we don't have real stud pitching. And everybody's like, oh, well, you need X, Y, Z. You need hitters. I'm like, yeah, but not everything can be dingers, man. Like straight up, it can't work like that. And having guys who can hold that lead, it matters so much. I miss Zach Britton. I can't wait till he comes back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right. So gaming wise, we might as well go here. Right? We got a video game in the background. So, I mean, I haven't done much gaming, but you know what? Screw it, man. There's no format to this today. Let's go to a word from our non-sponsors, right?
Yeah, we promise we'll bring some sports into every bit, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but let's do it. People, places, things, concepts, anything that we've been enjoying over the last 2 weeks, let's just say. 'Cause we haven't been on in a bit. So, I guess I might have two because I guess Andrew's not here, so I guess I
I'll
can
find
do
two.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
can
got two. You got two.
stretch this out. But latest one. So it's been a while since I've been enjoying, video games. I mean, I've been playing. I mean, Charles knows, but I've been playing games. Been playing Smash every few nights or something like that. At least once a week at the very least.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Go out in the battle arenas and go up get some randos. But lately I've kind of been like trying to get that itch for something new finally. So okay, let me try and find something in the old backlog, which is still massive. And by the way, I'm finally gonna start selling my backlog, my physical backlog. Now that I'm sitting on a gold mine that I didn't I underestimated the value of my collection until I finally sat down. Some very nice, handy websites. You know what? Screw it. This is one of my non-sponsors. Let's go with this one. Let's go to GameValueNow.com. That's what they're called. All right, you go on there. Game Value Now, and it's basically like, I don't know, a video game stock market in a way. I'm not sure, but they kind of track the trends of certain games to see, so you can see the value of what you got. So they have like a nice handy collection tracker here, which is what I've been using. You kind of sign up for an account, and you can keep a nice clean record of. I guess I'm not gonna log in here, but let me just give you an example of something that's on there. Hold on, search for it again. But yeah, you search for any video game that you have a physical copy of, and not just video games. You can also search for like consoles or accessories and things like that. So the heck, they even track amiibos, Charles. So you ever feel like unloading that amiibo collection?
No, I like it for the office. I only have 3. I got a Mario, a Luigi for Smash, and then I have a Ink Boy because I love my Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that at least has a purpose. So some of them are silly, but then there's my dumb ass who's like, I need a Yoshi's Woolly one for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I was tempted because I beat Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yeah.
I was tempted.
Yeah. So let's say right now GameCube is hot. If you got GameCube stuff, I'm just saying right now, if you have the entire complete set, you'd be sitting on $19,000 right now. So, if you have every single GameCube game, you are a very rich person at this point. But my GameCube collection is hot right now, so I'm gonna be unloading it in the coming month or so. I got Father's Day. I'm gonna go back to the folks' home, and it's already all lined up. I just gotta find some boxes that are missing, which is driving me mad. But at the very least, half of my collection can be unloaded. I'm going to start taking photos, put the eBay listings, what have you. So one of the games that I do know is going to fetch me a pretty penny is, let's see, where are we? trying to find it here. Yeah, you got all the games here listed for the most part. For the most part, I think most of the North American releases are here. So I don't know. I can't tell you anything more about as far as like European or whatever, but or Japanese. But here you go. So I got Chibi Robo. Bought this back in 2006, $50 back in the day, and let's just say it's doing pretty well right now. New in box. If you haven't opened it, yeah, it's $435 on average according to the eBay listings. But I got the box, the manual, the disc, nice, good condition. I could get a clean 200 for that. Look at that.
Like that.
Yeah, Charles, of course, has no loyalty to any video games.
I ain't got no loyalties, man.
He sees me as like keeping these games, especially after I basically only played this game once, ran through it. Very good game, but I already ripped it from the disc. It's on my hard drive. I can play it anytime that I want on my fancy gaming PC in 4K and widescreen, whatever. So. Honestly, I don't really need the disc or the box or anything anymore, so why not unload it at this point while it's hot? So game value now, very, very, it's great. It's great. They have the lot calculator here. Look at that. So you can find how much your stuff is worth. And so, yeah, promo code, mining my childhood.
God, is that the sequel to REM's Losing My Religion?
I guess so.
Sounds like it. That's me mining my childhood. It doesn't have it as catchy. They broke up, by the way. I don't know. I didn't know that old 80s bands can break up. I always thought they kind of through reunion tours. All right, I'll go into mine just so we kind of flip-flop it a little bit here. So my non-sponsor would be a game that I beat like a couple weeks ago. Like you, I haven't had much time. I did start Star Wars Squadrons, but I haven't finalized it yet, and it's weird when it's a short single player and I gotta do more multiplayer. But my non-sponsor, I don't think I did non-sponsor. I just referenced in the past, but I enjoyed it. I think I formally beat it, so I can trade it in, either wait 10 years like you did and then use that website that you mentioned, or going to your local GameStop or whatever. But it's gonna be Yoshi's Crafted World. I don't think I sponsor, so if I did, well, guess what? You're going to hear it twice. I liked it a lot. I think it's cute. I think it's very chill for a game that kind of needs the platforming. I did a lot of intense gaming this year. We're only in June, and I was playing some very, very heavy loads of gaming with Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the very disappointing Far Cry 5, a lot of stuff that kind of came in. So I need something to kind of relax, decongest the brain. It's super easy. You do not have any kind of complex platforming. Hardly do you die, but it's just cute. The graphics are nice. You have this ability to use like crafted armor. So there's a point where it was a cupcake, and it's all basically to this food theme that we have here. And I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. I had it on sale for Black Friday from GameStop, so I got it for like $30, which is a steal. I mean, on average, a good deal for Nintendo. They go on sale was probably like $38, so but it's usually about $60 itself.
Yeah.
But
Nintendo,
it's fun.
If you ever go on the eShop and Nintendo has a sale, basically it's just like $5 off.
Yeah, it's not worth it, right? But this one, I would say it's worth it. I would say it's a good 7.5. You always want some platforms to be challenging, especially if you're coming from our generation. But what I liked about this game was the longevity of it, because you would clear one mission or one level, one world, whatever you call it. But then they had a flip side where you're trying to save the Poochie pups. I guess, which is Poochies, like little children, but you're playing it in reverse on that secondary level of that same mission. So I thought that was very interesting, very breezy. I probably popped in like 15, 16 hours, so that was much more than what I thought, because when I used one of our prior non-sponsors, How Long to Game or How Long to Beat, it was only like rated at 9 hours, but it's more and higher because you're trying to collect everything. I don't need every little flower or smiley flower, and they do have post endgame content like all the Mario games do. That endgame content's actually quite harder than the entire mission themselves. So after like a couple attempts and me dying, I'm like, I don't need to play this right now. So maybe I'll give it to my sister. She has a Switch. She likes to play some of the games. I'll borrow some of my stuff if she wants to go to something chill and family related. With my nephew, you can play multiplayer. But I thought it was adorable. I thought it was very chill. I thought it was relaxing to get away from the maiming and the killing and the cursing and disappointment that was Far Cry 5, and some of the other heavy games that I did play here. So Yoshi's Crafted World, I liked a lot. And also, it was probably the only Yoshi's game I played since Yoshi 64 because I skipped out on Woolly World because I got sick of the Wii and paying that big amount of money. I wanted things on sale, damn it, because I wasn't a lawyer back then, so I couldn't afford much. Maybe when they redo Woolly World on the remaster for Switch Pro, because that will happen.
Yeah.
Because I got to milk everything.
Yep.
I would go into it. But yeah, as you see in the trailer, he's trying to get the Dreamstones. Not that it means anything. This is a Yoshi game. You're not here for story. But I liked it. I suggest all people should play it. Francisco should play it. If you guys have a Switch, go play it too. It's fun. 7.5 for me. Promo code Yoshi. I had to do it. It was coming.
Okay. Yeah, I've been. I finally beat Woolly World, and I just don't feel like playing a Yoshi game at this point. Just kind of.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of wanted something a little different, so. But yeah, I'm trying. But it's on the radar, obviously. If I ever feel like getting something light, especially if it's on sale, I can find the physical version. I'm buying more physical games now, especially now that I found Game Value now. I'm like, hey, I might as well just sit on these on these Switch games and see if we'll see what happens in 10 years. I have to strategically hold on to some games, so I'm not unloading the entire collection 100%, but at least half of it has to go now. So anything that was made before 2006 or 2007, let's just say, that has to go. That has to go. The Wii stuff and all that other thing, that I have to hang on. The Wii U, only 12 of us bought it, including me and Charles. So
and we dedicated a lot of hours to that game. But
yeah. But hang on to the Wii U stuff and make sure it's nice and pristine. That way, whenever I sell that thing in like 10 years, it'll net me a pretty penny. So that's
pay 300, you're gonna get 700 for it.
There you go. That's the goal right there. That's the goal. I have a ton of Dreamcast stuff that I have to unload, especially like Sonic Adventure 2 is like $100. Like why am I sitting? I've played it so many times. I really don't need to sit on it. I have the GameCube version already ripped onto my hard drive. So yeah. Oh, Freddy's non-sponsor is the new Cubs uniform. Really?
I think they switched it, right? That's what I was reading earlier.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So let's go here. It's sports related, so let's actually get a sports related non-sponsor here. I might as well talk about it. So yeah, the Nike City collection or City Connect, they say the City Edition, basically like the same thing NBA did. So now baseball's doing it. So the Cubs came out with the Wrigleyville uniforms today. They're
That's a Tennessee Titans jersey.
Essentially, that's basically it. Honestly,
I don't hate it, but it's so. I don't want to say this. It's a shock value to me because I don't think Cubs like that at all. I mean, do I think it's better than Chicago's South Side one? Kind of.
Really? I like the South Side one.
I think it's because the first one I saw wasn't with any of its players, but it was a Tony La Russa, and that just killed it.
Oh no, but that was the edit. That was like somebody editing it. A very bad Photoshop job of it. But now they have actual photos of Tony La Russa with like the sideways cap.
And that's the whole thing. First impression matters, folks.
Yeah.
And like that's what my first impression was of seeing what South Side. And it was Tony La Russa because it really either reminds me of How Do You Do, Fellow Kids, or it reminds me of just one of the Zuckerman or Zuckerberg, I think it's Zuckerman, spoof parodies, like the guy who done like Naked Gun and the scary movies that came after Scary Movie 2. So it was 3 on. It was just so bad. But I don't hate it. I think it's just not the color coordination that I would imagine. I don't know why they just couldn't put Wrigley Field and use their typical blue that they had there.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're all better than Red Sox ones. That's for sure. Yeah. The Red Sox ones are the worst ones so far.
Green one that they have.
Yeah, it was like the yellow and blue Boston Marathon ones, and I get it. Yeah. I understand. I like the, it's nice that they're, the honoring things, but it's also, I mean, it strays away so far from Red Sox that it's like, I don't know. It doesn't really work aside from like just as a one-off.
Maybe they're just saying, hey, they're uncreative and dirt. I'm like, you know what? Then it doesn't stay away from the Red Sox. It appropriately
Mm-hmm.
shows who they are.
But yeah, I mean, I'm more of a fan of the White Sox one than the Cubs one, to be honest. I think the Cubs one's just kind of like, okay, they did a
I think
thing.
if you take out Grandpa Tony from the picture, then I would probably like it in full. That would give you that one. I like the South Side. I think it's fine. I think it's there.
Yeah, yeah. The South Side stuff looks pretty cool. I mean, from what I've heard, it's flying off the shelves too. Of course, the Marlins one is flew off the shelves here, which is, you know, not many Marlins things fly off the shelves, but that one did. They definitely hit on that one. And so let's see. So we got the two Chicago teams, the Boston Red Sox, the
BU has a
Marlins.
sponsor, the Delaware North, sponsoring Coke Cups.
And I think was it the Diamondbacks, the Giants, and the Dodgers are the ones that are left to reveal their stuff. I'm kind of weary about what the Dodgers are gonna do. The Giants, I'm not sure either, and I have no. I mean, I guess the Diamondbacks might do something. I don't know. It'll probably be native based. It might look like the Arizona Coyotes or something with their retro uniforms. I have a feeling it'll be something like that. I'm not sure. But I'm sure it'll be Native American based, which kind of makes sense for Arizona. I hope they do a good job with it, but that's my prediction as far as. And yeah, there was a soccer match between the USA and Mexico for the was it the CONCACAF final or something?
Are we getting the Olympics or no? Like, is this going on?
No,
Is
it's
this
happening. It's gonna happen. Yeah, they actually here.
I've been monitoring it because me and my coworker were just talking about like the women's soccer and everything from that, and I was like, oh, are we still doing this? With everything, because I thought Japan had a very low percentage of like vaccine intake, but mind you, that can be fake news. It's all hearsay from what I'm hearing, because I don't pay attention to these things, so I don't know if it's happening or not. So you guys are my source of information, but I feel like I have to get into the swing of things for the Olympics to know what's going on, so I can comment on it.
There you go, CONCACAF Nations League. Yeah, see, don't come to me about soccer knowledge at all.
But we have to. We are the premier.
Yeah, but the Olympics are happening because they just they had the Baseball Americas, which is I guess like the.
Dude, there's too many. I don't know when it comes to that kind of leagues.
Yeah, no, it's the international body, so it's like basically the North and South American baseball body. It's like okay, USA baseball and Venezuela baseball and all that stuff. So they had their qualifiers for the Olympics out here in West Palm Beach and Port St. Lucie over at the spring training complexes.
My stomping grounds.
Yeah, so they just recently played some of those over here. So yeah, the Olympics are definitely happening. So we'll see what happens. Japan, hopefully we'll get some pretty cool anime references, but I doubt NBC's gonna do any of that.
Man, you're gonna get the whitest of whites.
Yeah, I know.
Things. So I don't know if that's insensitive statement, but if they even try to bring in the weebishness that we love, which is actually my second non-sponsor, so I'm gonna steal it from there. So my other non-sponsor that come into it, friends, Buddy.
Yeah.
We know I love my anime.
Okay.
We know I have a whole bunch of stuff that I am behind on, and we know that there's some stuff that I have to catch up to, and I may or may not have referenced this show as a past one, but I have started season 3 of Attack on Titan. And Jesus effing Christ, that stuff is hitting harder than season 2. So I watched the first season when I was in law school, when it came out in 2013, and then had like a 3-year hiatus before they had to make the determinations to make the second one. They were in production. I thought they were going to do it. But when I was working at home, I'm like, I haven't watched season 2. I know there's like 4 seasons now and all this other stuff. I think I gave it a try. And when I watched season 2, I was like, what are we here for like the first 3 episodes? And then it got like crazy. And then my buddy's like, oh no, season 3 is Wild Child. I'm like, no, are you sure? They're like, yeah, season 3 is Wild Child. First half of season 3 is wild. And I'm on like 3 episodes left of season 3, but the back like 5 episodes I had just watched, I was like, let me get my popcorn. I dedicated my Sunday just popping down and watching that stuff. It was so good. And I know the manga ended. I don't know how it ends. I'm trying actually to be devoid of spoilers. I know people aren't happy with the ending, but what I come to realize in my old age is that no one's ever going to be happy with the ending, but give me a damn ending. Um, at some way, shape, or form, and then I'll be an adult and just kind of deal with my gripes on the internet like everybody else out there. But oh man, it's just so good. Some shout outs because I don't think I do that. When you say, "Hey Charles, why do you like this anime?" aside from good action, good characterization, good plot, some of those characters, Commander Erwin Smith, Fight with Your Hearts is just so good. Levi, Kenny the Ripper. I don't know if I like Aaron or not. Always like Mikasa because she's kind of like Wolverine in that sense, where you always like him. It's always going to kind of be that favorite character. And then there's some other people. I don't know if I like Jean. I know a lot of people don't like Jean. I like Jean. I think he's coming. It's just so good. The action's so good. There's so many like what the hell just happened moments. Literally, there was a scene in like one of the episodes I watched where I was like, what the fuck? It made me feel like I was reading The Red Wedding all over again from Game of Thrones. That's right, kids. I read it. I didn't have to watch HBO on it, and that stuff still blew my mind. But Attack on Titan season 3 has been great. The show's not done yet, but I know they're going to conclude it next December, so I have to wait out. I'm thinking I'm just going to bite the bullet and pay the $8 for Funimation so I can watch the season 4 dub, because I think the dub's actually really good, and I think that's a testament to a lot of the voice acting studios to kind of give you that. Because here's the thing, what you kids don't understand, like 10, 15 years ago, you either had good English dubs or you had to suffer through like a Japanese sub that was just them going, hey, 20,000 times.
Yep.
So I think there has been evolution. I think Attack on Titan. Thank you. Exactly. That's it. It's
anime noises, baby.
I would love it. Just do a soundbite of that, put it on the Twitter so people could hear us doing like anime noises. And
I swear, I've always wanted to like. I don't know if anybody ever needs me for voice acting. I'd love to do some weird anime noises. You just like whenever there's like a pause and whatever, and you're seeing like the reaction.
You gotta do the gasp. But that's literally what it is. So like, I'm kind of deterred from Japanese subs. I like the dubs more because like I watch all of Dragon Ball Super in sub because I couldn't wait for the dub to come out. So hearing Goku's voice actress go like 1,000 times, I'm like, I'm gonna have an aneurysm straight up. But I have to watch this because Tournament Power. But I think this is really weird for a non-sponsor, but I loved it. But I think the English dub is good. I think it's a shout out, and I like everything that comes into it. So I'm just gonna pay the $8 to binge part 1 of season 4, the English dub, and wait a year and just watch that and be happy and then be disappointed at the same time. So Attack on Titan season 3 with the with Francisco and Charles providing you with our own Japanese intimidations of how the voice acting would be. We are not insensitive at all. This is just what we mimic. Please don't cancel us. We love you all. Don't hate on us. We are weebs too. Promo code. Man, there's so many that come into it, but promo code Levi Squad. I'll keep it at that.
Okay. All right. So I guess the second one that I'll pop in here. Not video game related because it's been something I've been playing. It's actually really fast, but other non-sponsor is just because of circumstances that have kind of made me gravitate towards this game. It's Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami, there you go.
Hotline Miami. Okay, it was released way back in like 2012 or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
bro. I think that was like law school days.
Yeah,
right before for me.
Long time ago, and so mature game. You gotta be this old to play it, that type of thing. But regardless, actually, where did it go, man? Sheesh. I'm trying to get it on the frickin' stream here. So it's a video game, takes place in Miami, Florida. Very surreal, but it's all about just kind of getting your frustrations out there. Just pretty cathartic, really. If you live in Miami, you ever just felt like just kind of sick of it. Well,
why is it a 50-minute drive to drive 2 miles in a video game?
Exactly. So I I gravitated towards this game, let's just say, and it's just your guy. At least in the first, I beat both of them. I beat the first one and the second one. So
They're about what 8 hours a pop.
yeah, they're very fast. It's very. I'm not authorized. What? How am I? Am I not? Oh, did I not put an age that was old enough? Whoopsies. Gosh, man, I should just put. I was born in 1950 like I normally do. Okay, why? Come on, guys. Come on. Sheesh. Really? You guys actually saved the cookies for that? Well, you know what? Screw it. We're just going on YouTube and I'll show all the bloody mess regardless. Hotline Miami. You're a guy in the first one. You're a guy named Jacket, and you get a series of phone calls, and they're telling you to go to certain places and basically just murder people, just straight up murder people, and you have no qualms about it. You just go in and you do it. And it's a top down, I guess, very stylized in a.
It's a shooter. Yeah.
Well, it's more like a not really a shooter. I wouldn't call it a shooter. I call it more of like a beat, almost like a beat 'em up, but from the top down. You know?
Yeah.
Like a beat 'em up.
It's hard to classify games these days because nothing wants to be anything anymore.
Like a top down beat 'em up where you can grab weapons. You can punch people with your fist if you want. You got all kinds of weapons, so you can beat people down with like a pool cue or a baseball bat, a rod, chain, or you get there's your standard guns. You got your pistols and your Uzis and whatnot. But the idea is to try and create combos while you're killing it. Of course, the whole caveat is you get shot and you're dead. You get hit, you're dead. So you got to restart the level over, or if you reach a checkpoint, you got to restart from the checkpoint. So the idea is to kind of just keep it going as quickly as possible, but keep the combos going, and you're trying to get a high score. So they have online leaderboards and things like that. But the story is surreal. Really, I've been watching YouTube videos just trying to break it down because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Not like it's a story that if you can really try to pay attention to, but you don't have to. You just enjoy the killing. That's all. So. I don't know, man. It's good, and the music is stupid good in this game.
Because it's an '80s cop out, right?
Yeah.
How they're gonna do it.
But yeah, they got all the synth music and stuff like that. But it is amazing what they did with the music in this game. So it was obviously made better for PC. I'm sure if I had like a keyboard and mouse, it would have played a lot easier.
Yeah, but those cursor-related shooters that are top-down.
But regardless, I played it on the Switch. You can get it on your PlayStation, your Xbox, anything like that too, and it's good, man. It's a very good game. And they sell the collection. You can get 1 and 2 both together. It's not that much. It's probably on sale all the time on Steam, I bet. So it's go get it, man. And I think they had like the Devolver bootleg pack, which is like a bunch of like D-makes of their most popular games. So there's like an 8-bit homage to this game called Hotline Milwaukee.
Devolver makes some good stuff. It's E3, by the way, so I'm waiting to see because they made
that is
and I
right.
played it and I enjoyed it.
That is right. Oh man, I did not even try. Wow, I've been out of the loop. Oh, that's a nice welcome thing. I'm sure Nintendo's going to show some stuff. Splatoon 3. That's what I'm waiting on.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for it.
I know it'll come out next year, but we might see some Zelda things. I doubt it, though. I doubt it.
I mean, more on the Sonic stuff because they did the announcement for the.
Oh yeah, new Sonic
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Colors, which is a good game, but I'm not gonna pay to play it again in HD because even like the screenshots and the images that I saw from it, I'm like, I don't think they did that much to improve it, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's not a full remake.
Yeah, it's basically
remaster.
Just copy and paste the Wii version.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good game. So if you ever want to play Sonic Colors, do that. But Hotline Miami is a good game. So promo code.
You gotta say Miami Vice. I think.
No. I got a line from the game or something, man.
Okay.
Promo code. I guess so. You like killing. I think that's one of the lines from the games. So
Very
okay.
noirish.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that's a good game. Very good game. Okay, so I guess those are two non-sponsors, man. Those that I got. You got two.
And then the European League of Football, the additional one from Freddie, or
Oh,
from
okay.
BU, one of the two. It was Freddie. All right. Oh, so we have that. Yeah, so that's our non-sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Transitioning to the very uncultivated but sports snacky related world. There's something we need to talk about because when I love Oreos completely. It's been non-sponsored before. Do you remember when about a year and a half ago I took one for the team and I tried out the Mega Stuff Oreo
Oh,
and
I saw those being sold at Wawa. With they
and there's
sell the individual mega stuffs now.
and it's like, oh my god. But it was like, okay, how can we take something that's already perfect and make it better? Something happened in the sports world this weekend that took something that's almost near perfect and already made it better. The Tennessee Titans got Julio Jones, baby.
Yeah.
And
You didn't believe it at first, and you're like,
I didn't believe it at first because there was rumors around our first round pick. I thought, no way is any other team in the league is not going to want to trade a second or fourth throwaway picks. Pat McAfee and I agree with this. The throwaway picks and eat a $15 million salary cap, which is really not as pricey as you think it is in comparison to some of these wide receivers, for a guy who might be 32, but he's the Jerry Rice of this generation. Where unless he calls it quits, he's going to probably be playing until he's 37. And we have him for 3 more years. And he's still dominating. Yes, he was injured for 9 games last season. I don't care about that. Last season's last season. Because for us, it was like, oh, we're letting Corey Davis know. You already know my trepidation. I don't want to pay Corey Davis that money. You got 3 years, $39 million from the Jets. I don't want to pay all that stuff. Oh, we don't want to pay John Smith. I'm like, John Smith. I should love John Smith. Not only as he was a Tennessee Titan, he was also a FIU Panther. And I was like, happy trails. You know, I was like, are we going to draft a receiver? But the problem was is that we were too low in the draft or too high in the draft, depending how you phrase it, but too far into the draft to get anybody who was a great receiver. Because I think we were picking like 2022, so we were anything, and all we drafted was Des Fitzpatrick from Louisville, who may or may not be good. The problem is Bobby Petrino, and does he really make anybody who's a great player not named Lamar Jackson? I don't know. That's tough for me to make decisions on. So, um, okay, I'll read that from BU. And then what we had signed was Josh Reynolds, who was like a number 3 or 4 from the Rams, who played well enough, and we have him on a 1 year deal, but still 1 year deal. And then I'm like, I started putting up. I'm like, oh, buddy, is this gonna be like the Mega Stuff Oreo where I know it's gonna make me gluttonous, but I'm gonna enjoy every bit of it with my milk? And we got him, second rounder, fourth rounder, and we're getting a 6th round pick back.
I love it.
So it's and keeping in mind this, letting Janu and Corey Davis go gets us what? Compensatory picks. So it's literally like we're getting more than just Julio Jones, because in reality we are. Thank you, Atlanta, for being so bad at salary cap situations that this gift happened, where we're trading away basically a second and a fourth for the generational player. You guys want to call him washed up? Go ahead. He is washed up when he's actually washed up, because that's the negativity of the sport universe, when especially they can't have a guy. And this is a guy that I think if they said, hey, all you have to do is pay a penny for him, everybody and their mother will want him on the team. Would they not?
Oh yeah.
And it just didn't happen. So Atlanta, thank you for overpaying Julio, Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett, and then knowing that you're damned because now you have to pick up Calvin Ridley's option because he's not the heir apparent, but he's going to be your new number 1 for a couple years to come. And you had to make some decisions in there because we're going to get Julio locked in for $15 million. We had Tannehill restructure his contract. Unfortunately, we're going to pay him like $40 million, but his, I think, 22 or 23 year. But something's got to give. We overpaid Bud Dupree. I'll take it because it's better than what we have here. We drafted Caleb Fairley, which I wasn't a big fan of. But this is an absolute win for me because we were not being able to play comeback ball when it came to the playoffs. That's the reason we lost the Ravens alongside our very atrocious defense. That's the reason why we couldn't do anything with the Chiefs many years ago. And now you're telling me that we're going to have Julio and then A.J. Brown and then Josh Reynolds and then Derrick Henry. it's not. There was a funny tweet that I saw. I think I sent to you where there was talks about Seahawks wanting Julio Jones. They're like, oh great, we can have Julio Jones, DK Metcalf, and then what's his face, Tyler Lockett, all to help establish the run. This is different. Julio, that play action, the blocking, the greatness, the one-on-one in the red zones. It's an absolute win. Doesn't fix our defense. I know it doesn't fix our defense. Guys, we know it doesn't fix the defense. We don't care. And this is where
enough offense where that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
come on now.
This is where because that's what the league tells us. Because was that not the Bucks? Was that not the Chiefs? And just like the mega stuffed Oreo, I don't care if it's so big that it doesn't even really constitute as an Oreo because there's so much separation between the cookie portion and the cream. I'm still calling it great. And I am so happy with it. And this really also makes me look at Atlanta like they have no idea. And thank you, Arthur Smith, for giving back to your old team. We love you. We respect. I was going to say something very R-rated, but I'm not going to say it because I think I've offended enough people today. In life and outside, and before we even got to the podcast. But Atlanta, you're also kind of fools because now I don't see the legitimate purpose of drafting Kyle Pitts at 4 if you knew you were going to rid of Julio. This was your opportunity to really blow it up for a good bevy of picks. I would have traded Julio and Matt Ryan. And let me tell you now, for anybody who says Matt Ryan's not good, doesn't watch football. For anybody who says Matt Ryan is a product of the players around him, doesn't watch football. Because he's had consistent guys, but I've seen quarterbacks who've had good players and they can't do anything with those good players. And in his time, he has been good with Tony Gonzalez, Mohamed Sanu, Julio Jones, Roddy White, all these players that come into it, they were able to go and make careers elsewhere. Yeah, Sanu. Wasn't there on the Falcons? I think he was. There's just so many players that kind of come in between. I'll have to go into the reference check, and I don't want to be inaccurate. But there was a lot of players that he was able to go from there, and he was an MVP. And I would have been like, hey, I'm going to trade him out because I think he can get a second-round pick, to be honest with you, or at least a third-rounder. And if I was like the Giants, I would have been knocking on that door and say, hey, him and Daniel Jones. Because Daniel Jones, I'm going to say right now, bold prediction of the year, Daniel Jones is not going to be a Giant in 2 years. He's going to get treated the Sam Darnold kind of way.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Falcons, and that's no slight to Daniel Jones, but I just don't see it. He's got moxie. He turns the ball over way too much and really can't do anything. But if I was like the Giants, I'm just using this hypothetical because this is what I was talking to my paralegal earlier, is that you put like Matt Ryan with a Golden Tate, who they signed, with Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram and a possibly healthy Saquon, but also other bold prediction, he's not going to be there in 2 years either. Just saying it right now because it's not worth it. You have to be on the field and play. If you're running back and you're not there, Henry deserved everything he got. I don't think Saquon's there. But there's players that you have, and you had the opportunity to, if your plan was okay, because you already fired your coaches, you fired your GM, you had this idea of what you could do, and you were like, we're going to get Kyle Pitts. Okay, so you got Kyle Pitts with a 4th-round pick, but you pass up Justin Fields. And here's the thing. I'm not the biggest proponent of Justin Fields, but at no way, shape, or form was I never saying that he wasn't the second best quarterback in the draft. I don't see it with Zach Wilson. And then when you're looking at Trey Lance, he played FCS ball, and I wish Andrew was really here to kind of like go with me on this one, where it's like the equivalent was like saying, hey, we're gonna look into a quarterback who plays for the Mountain West, and it's like, okay, it's Boise with Appalachian State as their biggest competitor. There's not a lot to show from there, and you mean to tell me that Justin Fields, who at least showed up in the college football playoffs to beat Clemson of all teams and looked dominating to do it, was there, and you go with Kyle Pitts? Are you going to convert him to a receiver? I don't think so. And the problem is what do you want this man to be? Because you should really be thinking about a few years. Because Ryan, I would say, probably has 3 years left to fully play. He's never really been fully injured. But, that's perfect time to draft somebody, get your value, and build a team for the next 5. But you let him go for Kyle Pitts. What, aside from Tony Gonzalez, aside from the Travis Kelce's, what tight end really is that guy? I know what you can say, Charles, that's the guy. I'm like, yeah, but you don't build a team around a tight end. So I don't get it in that sense. And if you knew you were going to rid of one big component, such as a Julio, I would have gotten rid of Matt. I would have in the 2 years. Because you know what the problem is now you're stuck with Calvin Ridley, who I like Calvin. I liked him coming out of college. I like him here now. I think this is where he's going to be fully situated. Then you're stuck with Kyle Pitts, and then you're stuck with Matt Ryan. You know who else you're stuck with in your backfield? Mike Davis. You didn't fix anything on this offense. It's not addition by subtraction. It's just bad math and hoping that you win against the curve. Good for us. Thank you, Atlanta. I really would have sold the farm because Julio got you a second and fourth. Matt would have at least gotten you. I would have demanded a second, but maybe he gets you a third, which is good for what you need for this team. And then you would have drafted Justin, and then you would have taken you. And he would have started day one, but there was also a slew of quarterbacks. Hell, Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting for the Washington football team. I was going to say Redskins, but Washington football team. So you can't tell me that there's not people there. You can have Jacoby Brissett just be a plug and play, but whatever. But I'm very happy. Just like the Mega Stuff Oreo, it's excessive, but damn, is it good.
I've yet to indulge.
It's like eating 3 creams of the Oreo.
I almost got it when I was at Wawa that night. I almost got it. And I was like, how do I want my diabetes? I'm not sure.
Well, the way you have it, how you told me you ate the
well, I mean,
you already have it.
Look, if I'm gonna buy an actual pack of Oreos, I'm gonna do the diabetes cocktail. That's
so. Let me ask you this question. This is going to go off greatly on the offbeat path, but this is the most important question. This is the thing I ask people when they know I'm going off and reading and just doing everything I can with Oreos. How do you eat your Oreos, Francisco? What kind of psychopath are you? Because I know how you have your sandwiches, but how do you eat those Oreos? Do you unscrew them? Is the word I'll use.
It really. I mean, I've done every single way. It just really depends on my mood.
I will accept that, and I accept that completely and understand, because there are some people who just don't let you live your heart. Like jazz, you have to improvise. Eating Oreo cookies, you have to improvise. But the one thing you always need is goddamn milk. There are people I know who don't have that with milk. I'm like, oh, what? My goodness, who are you?
Like, if I'm trying to sneak one or two in, and
yeah, I get that.
Just like
you don't have milk.
Because at my sister's place, they have the stack. They have the Chips Ahoy and the Oreos. That's why I can't really go back home very much, because that's where that's where you come back and you're like 3 pounds heavier after 2 days. So lately, because they indulge not only on the Oreos, but they indulge in the different flavors of the Oreos.
Yeah, it's getting strange now.
Yeah, now it is getting ridiculous. So, let's see.
There's a Lady Gaga Oreo, and I don't know what the difference is. But I'm compelled, but I don't want to pay a full price for Oreos. But remember, I had the chocolate cream Oreos a couple months back. They were good. They're fine. I like them. They weren't bad.
Yeah, that's what they had last time. They had the chocolate cream, which was I enjoyed those. Those were very nice. And then they had the Java chip.
What the hell is that?
Oreo. Yeah, that one's new. That one, or at least new to me. I don't even know anybody else has had that, but regardless, yeah, that was quite the experience, I guess. I don't know what I'm not a fan, to be honest. Over at so my dad, he has a sweet tooth. I would say he's got more of it than I do. Okay, he's got his cakes, he's got his cookies. I mean, he buys Cinnamon Toast Crunch now on a regular basis. I don't even buy Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I know what I do with a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch if I'm left alone with it. So when I go, like I said, I go home and he's got the stack of the golden Oreos. Okay, and that's just not good for me. That is not good for me at all, because I will wolf those down, just entire sleeves of those things. And you know me, Charles, I eat essentially just once per day. So I got to be real careful with regards to what choice did I make. I mean, today I indulged in some leftover pizza when I got home after the run, good recovery food or something, I'm not sure. But I had Taco Bell today. Had my Crunch Wrap Supreme. I switched it up today, Charles.
That's gonna be my dinner after this.
Really?
I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah. I don't know if I'm going for the Crunch Wrap though, because I did have the Naked Chalupa.
Okay.
I felt healthy.
You felt
And I
healthy
don't
after
know,
naked chalupa?
and I don't know if I should
How
feel
did
that
you
way
feel
with
healthy after that
Pelican
one?
Bell.
You felt healthy after eating the naked chalupa?
I feel healthier with the naked chalupa. I can't explain
Really?
it. Yeah, because it has like a grilled taste to it.
I don't know. I
It's not
was
slimy.
no, it wasn't greasy like you would. God, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. I definitely expected. I feel
'Cause
unhealthy when I have the kiss of Jesus that is the quesalupa.
that is true. But no, yeah, yeah, it wasn't greasy. I was expecting it to be kind of greasy, like KFC greasy. You know, the same company, obviously.
Yeah, we're not going to attack the Colonel on this one.
I know, but you know, there's a layer of that grease. You know, I'm just saying. There's a reason it clogs your arteries, but yeah, I don't know. I only ate the naked chalupa once, and I was like, I don't know if I'll get into heaven, but this might be the reason why I won't. That's kind of how I felt after eating it. I'm like, I don't know. This one might be one that's like, I don't know if you have you ever seen The Good Place?
I know of it. I have not seen it.
Okay, well, basically they have like a point system, like good points are for doing good things and bad points. I'm like, I think I might get docked for some points after eating this one. That's how I felt. But I don't know. I guess I didn't think I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. When I finally bit into it, I'm like, okay.
You hyped it up too much.
Yeah, I might have.
You let the commercials guide you.
That's true.
You can never let the commercials guide you.
Exactly. I was kind of the presentation wasn't the same. I'm like, oh no, why? So, anyways, yeah, no. So yeah, I had the Crunch Wrap today. I had the. I always get the extra Doritos Locos taco with the side of it too. Okay. There's a. I don't know why I like slop in a way with my fast food, but there is a wonderful kind of slop that happens with the beef on the Doritos Locos taco at the bottom of it, where it gets nice and like it's crunchy, and then it steadily gets slightly sloggier or sloppier, and like it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of breaks apart, but at the same time I kind of like that. I'm not sure. Just
It depends, because if it's too greasy, I need the shell to be able to sustain it.
Oh no, but it does. It does, but there's a point where like you can just kind of go into that part of the shell and just kind of go ham, and you know, it creates an awful mess. But once again, every once in a while, you kind of like that pig slop type of feel. It's the reason why I can't go to KFC and get those bowls anymore.
Oh my god, they're so good.
It's the reason I honestly feel like a pig when I eat a KFC bowl.
At some point, we do have to do the fast food draft. We have the sweet power rankings.
Yeah.
And then the fast food draft coming. We'll do on the NBA draft.
Yeah, the NBA draft.
I was out for the wedding, so
yeah.
it was like impossible for me to show up for the. But if you talk about the most useless drafts, NBA draft has to be there anyway.
Oh yeah.
Really, picks 1 through 11.
The NBA is way more useless than even the NFL one. That's for sure. And and I don't even know what the hell happens at the NHL one. All I know is that the Panthers never pick anybody that's good. So, so there you go. And God forbid if anybody watches the MLB draft.
There's too many rounds, man. What?
So, hold on, where are we? We're at an hour and 38 minutes, huh? Okay.
We went somewhere with today's episode.
It is all over the place, but it is here, and I am enjoying the journey.
Points. We talked focal points.
Oh yeah, let's see. We have the Titans.
Okay,
hold on. So, okay, other humble pie. So, all right. So we mentioned the Atlanta Hawks. So we didn't mention the frauds.
Yeah.
That they're facing right now.
There was no humble pie for them. A year ago, when they hired Doc Rivers, what did I say? I said, "Oh, great! You hired somebody that's going to be an elevator of the talent, because that's what he does. That's what a good coach does." But are you going to even get out? Are you even getting into the finals?
I mean, it is 55-57 right now. They're only up by 2.
Yeah. Well, I will say Embiid being injured probably helps that a little. But he's with a banger though in Capella. Capella gonna crack them knees a little bit more. But I wasn't, because here's the thing, as you know, being one in the seeding, there's a difference between looking at one at the 76ers as a seeding and then you look at Utah as a one. I look at Utah as a one. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I look at the frauders as the 70 frauders, Philadelphia frauders.
Yeah.
I look at them with the 1C. I'm like, I don't see it. Yeah, I wasn't scared of them. We unfortunately don't get there, but if they somehow do survive Atlanta, and listen, Atlanta winning game one, I think is huge, to be honest with you. I think that's going to shake that confidence. I don't think that's a mentally strong team. I'm using all the verbiage that you hear on sports radio for people I've never met in my life and do not have. It's not like we're in a war of attrition, but I know their coach because I have seen their coach since 2005 to now. Doc always gets a position. Doc is always going to be that hireable guy. And everywhere you go and you watch Doc coach, you're like, man, he's too stuck in his ways because he doesn't know how to game plan. And the biggest example, 2007 or was it 2009 Game 7 against the Lakers.
Yeah, 2009.
He can't break out of
or
that.
No, wait, 2010. 2009 is when the Lakers beat the
2000.
Magic.
Yeah, 2010. He can't break out of that shell, that way, that planning, and I worry about Embiid's knees. I worry the fact that, okay, if he's playing on a torn meniscus, and it can be done, it might be swollen, it might get aggravated, but if it gets too swollen, get too stiff, you got to take him out. But then you look at who he's playing against guarding-wise and who has to deal with that break, and it's Capella and Collins, really. And you're dealing with bangers, man. You're dealing with bangers on those knees, and Clint Capella's a big guy. And he's aggressive. He's getting the putbacks. He's getting the rebounds. You're going to have to jump up there. And then if you take out Embiid on the equation, what do you have? You have Tobias Harris, who I like. I like Harris a lot. I think he's an unsung hero. But then I'm left with Ben Simmons. The little NBA tweet has been, who do you want at the free throw line, Giannis or Ben? And then I'm like, yeah, that's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Freddie's saying Embiid's knees are not the Bee's knees. Exactly. It's a classically known fact, and that's always what's going to affect Embiid. The other Curry brother, not Steph, but Seth. Good for him for finally making some money, but I don't know if that's scary. I mean, yeah, he killed Washington, but it's Washington. Like, they were supposed to beat Washington even without Embiid. Because what you had was just Russ being like, I'm still here. And I love me some Teddy Russ. And then Bradley Beal be like, get me off this team. He's going to stay there because he's never going to say it. But the minute it was there, he's like, I can't wait to go home.
Like, get me off this team. Yeah, we got Bradley Beal and we got our poor guy Dame.
Dame. There's no humble pie to that, but they fired Terry Stotts. I think I had said that last year when they got eliminated. It's time to go. Yes, it's on the GM, Neil Olshley, for not building the proper team. Listen, this was a team that had to start both Norm Powell and Robert Covington as their forwards. That is not winning basketball. Those are guys who are good bench players who would get minutes, but they're your starters in a playoff season.
Right.
It was coming, and this is that GM. They were running out Al-Farouq Aminu, and I think, oh my God, they were forwarding out, what's his name? I just said it the other day. And why is it that I can't think?
Melo?
No, not Melo. Melo's actually perfect, I think, for there. No, I'm talking about a couple years back. Oh,
okay.
A couple years back, they couldn't put into him. They did have this, but no, let's not do from that. But it was a forward who was a ball handler as well. And we talked about him because he was Evan Turner. That's right. I believe they had Evan Turner, and these were guys that were throwing big money. So you're putting big money in Al-Farouq Aminu. You're throwing big money into Evan Turner. These are not transitional guys. These are not guys that could make the biggest thing. And then you have Dame just dying. And Dame is like, how do I want to say this? Dame is the Vegeta of basketball, where he's going to get that ass beating, but he's still going to talk that shit and then show you what he's good. I love watching him play. And then his whole disappointment was we lost to a team that doesn't even have their two starters. There's no Will Barton, there's no Jamal Murray. And they fire Stotts, good. I don't know what you do with CJ McCollum. I was never really big on him, but can you get more value? Can you not? Are you cash strapped? You're not going to trade Dame because you're such a small organization. It's been a long time since Portland's been this relevant because it was LaMarcus Aldridge, and you saw what happened there, and that's where Dame kind of came in. But Dame was a bigger, more focal point that I feel in LA ever was. And before that, you just have to look at the history of that team. It was like no bueno for a bit. But humble pie servings, I'll give humble pie to Chris Paul. I talked smack and I said I think it's going to be a decline. I was wrong. I'm not giving humble pie to Devin Booker. I still don't believe in it. I think what happens is if you're still the primary option of scoring, you have to show me there. You beat the Lakers. That's fine. They didn't have Anthony Davis. They had him for 5 minutes, man.
Right.
Like that. The Lakers is a consequence of the max contracts because you had two guys on a max value contract with Davis and LeBron, and then you had to deal with Kuzma. That whole team was just badly built.
Yeah.
And it was
it's top heavy.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not
It's top heavy. If LeBron doesn't have anybody with him, then it ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
right? And it's not as well-rounded a team as he had in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it to you for Devin Booker because it's just I gotta see him having that championship. And it's not hate on Devin Booker. It's a talent. I know it's a talent, but as I've told you, it's the same comparison that I gave to Zach LaVine in the beginning of the year. If you're really the focal point of that offense, that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's the whole thing. You're supposed to average at 25. You're supposed to average at 30. And right now, whom you're playing is that Denver kind of choked too. They were in the lead from when I was taking the majority game before I went to bed, and then they just kind of pooped the bed a little bit. So what can you do with that? But humble pie, we withdrew it from Milwaukee. We're giving it to Chris Paul. We're giving Chris Paul a good slice. How dare I doubt you? I loved you. I was like, I'm
liking this version of Chris Paul. I'm liking old man Paul showing the young kiddos
how it's done.
Yeah, well, I mean, he hasn't done it completely himself, but showing them like, hey, this is how you play, and maybe get me there, guys. Come on,
and
get me there.
Other humble pie.
Get me to a final at the very least.
Right, just get me somewhere. My other humble pie I'm going to give, and it was because I talked smack about him early in the season, but it's over in LA with the Clippers. I'll give a small sliver of humble pie to Tyronn Lue because I personally think he ran those coattails after David Blatt was exiled for just not meshing, for not working well with LeBron, because I didn't see Tyronn having like actual coaching competency for those 2 years. Yes, I know he won a finals, and I know he went to a finals after, but I don't think they played good in the finals after. When they got destroyed on that Kevin Durant mega team. But sometimes you can change it up a little bit. But I'll give it to Tyronn a little bit because even though it's the Mavericks, even though we did not sing positive tales about them, which happened, we're a haters club, guys. We talk a lot of smack. You should see the group chat. I'm fussy to a degree. But I'll give it to Tyronn because you know who I felt would have lost that first round against the Mavericks? Doc Rivers. Same players, I bet you Doc would have lost.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll give Tyronn Lue the humble pie. He knew to tell the guy, and what happened? Paul George came up short in that last game. It was like 5 of 18. That is nasty. Don't let the whole I got extra points for free throws tell anything. You got to look at those shooting percentages. And it was the Kawhi Leonard show. And people need to respect Kawhi, too. Like, he's just so good all around. I don't think he's ever going to be leading scoring champion. I don't think he's ever going to be MVP of the league. But he's just great at a lot of levels, and his floor is basically like very good, close to great. So that's fantastic to have in a player. And come to Miami. Just come to Miami, Kawhi. Just you want to. I think you only have like 2 years left in your contract with LA. You went back. Come to South Beach. We can utilize you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, there are so many. Oh, Dame, if you ever.
That contract's too hard.
I know, but still, Bradley.
But we can say this though, it's time. Heat predictions, and then I'll stop at that because it's too early into it. But things that have got to go. I don't need Robinson on the team. I don't. I think he's a plug and play guy. Don't poison pellet the way you did with Tyler Johnson a couple years back. Tyler could be valuable.
That's yeah. I mean, it's Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler. That's what they're gonna go with, and then we'll see what happens around them.
Jimmy Bam
Goran.
Yeah, because I mean, he also kind of looks done because now he's hobbling a lot more.
I mean,
he'll honor that contract.
I guess so. Maybe.
I think Tyler can get some players if we have to facilitate this whole trade thing.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to kind of take it because streaky shooters, for every for the ultimate streaky shooter that is Danny Green, for every guy who's at least clutch that could start in certain things, there's going to be guys who just have like slow games. And I don't know if Tyler's game is going to be, if he could develop into a Lou Williams, which is very, who, I thought it was a big league. Because remember, Lou was on the Clippers and they put him in the line. I'm like, why? All that for Rondo of all people? He's not doing it. He's not even playing. But Tyler, this is going to be year 3. He needs to change his stuff a little bit more. Needs to play better defense, of course. But I want to see more about Chua and then some of the pickups. Look, this season, I think you and I knew it was going to kind of happen. But I'm really interested in seeing it out there because it's not going to be a good free agent market. There's going to be a lot of bloated contracts because a lot of the guys who were drafted years ago are getting these max contracts or close to max contracts. So what can we do there? So now it's going to be one of those things of Pat doesn't like the draft. Pat, it's really time. Either you got to figure out if you want to get the blue-collar players to build around like we did last year, because we had Jay Crowder. We had all the Jay Crowder's on Phoenix. That's why they're better defensively. How you want to build it, if you want to put blue-chip players, or if you really want to say, can Jimmy and Bam and Tyler in year 3 lead and groom like the new studs that we can have? Because I've been pushing for Precious to get more time. I don't know because that's the problem about basketball. We talk about we're just evaluators of talent from what we see in different things. I liked him a little bit in college, and I liked what I saw from him in person. But Spo's gonna know him the best. We talked about it. Side note: Celtics, was better than being the fan base of the team that got their team swept in the first round. Having a fan base that got destroyed, their GM quit even though he said resign, and then your coach doesn't even want to coach your team anymore. He's going to the front office. Oh man, this is great, and you lost to the team that to the player who called out on your town's racism. Love it. Sorry to be you. We know you're not racist, but there's some reputation about this coming here. Yeah. So humble pies. That's what I got for you. I don't think I have any more humble pies from what we talk smack about. Baseball's not done yet, so I'm not humble pieing it, but I have complaints and grievances, and I'll be on a different show.
Yeah. Okay. So we're down to the end. Charles, you said this would be a bifurcated. Let's go. Let's head to the cage.
All right. So welcome everybody to your weekly Truplex and Cage with Charles. Now, full disclaimer: wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It is a song. It is dance. It is poetry in motion. It is a ballet. It's a scripted fight. It is the story about man and woman chasing championships, legacy, beating the holy crap out of each other, and it's it's just really impacted by one particular man, whether you like it or not. The universe doesn't revolve around, but I bet you he feels it does. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You said, Charles, I know. We're going to come out with some slander, but what you're starting to realize is that even if the WWE is not the best wrestling product out there, it is the noticeable. It is the, I don't think it's prestigious, but it is the seminal wrestling product that is out there. And I think what the movements of a Vincent Kennedy McMahon does basically shakes the leaves off the tree that is in the entire wrestling industry, and how it affects AEW, how it affects New Japan, and how it affects every other organization between Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate, GCW, Impact Wrestling, all this stuff. So we're going to talk about that. But first off, I got to give updates about the other stuff that's happening in wrestling. Impact Wrestling, X Division Championship, Iron Man match. Joshua Alexander, TJP went at it 60 minutes. Joshua Alexander won. He's the walking weapon. I love that nickname. He was part of the North, the tag team that has the longest running Impact Tag Team Championships. His buddy Ethan Page went over to All Elite Wrestling to team up with Scorpio Sky. But Alexander's doing some work there. Why they're elevating the X Division Championship? Because the Impact World Championship is with whom? Kenny Omega, the champion over in AEW, who's now on all these brands as the belt collector. He'll be challenging Moose at some point. Hopefully Moose gets that belt back. You know how I feel about the AEW foreign door, open door policy, forbidden door policy, whatever they call it, for brands going to brands, because I always believe you should work with the talent that you have here and not give those titles to anybody that's a freelancer or just borrow time unless you can propel them to put them over. I don't see it happening. AEW, they had Double or Nothing that occurred. There was a couple matches that happened. One of them being the triple threat match of Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, and Pac for formerly known as Zemble for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I didn't watch that match particularly. I don't want to pay $50 for the pay-per-views. However, I did read that AMC and AEW are partnering up to do the pay-per-views for like $20. I'm willing to do that. to be honest with you, to watch it because that's such a reduced price. And I do like the wrestlers on AEW, but Kenny retained his title. I know Miro won against Lance Archer. Miro retained the TNT Championship because he beat that with Darby Allin. I think that was one of the shows I was gone for a while. We were gone for a while. So that's some updates. Miro, formerly known as Rusev, is now your new TNT champion. Tag team championships were on the line. Young Bucks versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Moxley ate the pin. Young Bucks are heel. They still have the titles. All this other fun stuff that's come into it. Delaying the inevitable, but you have to draw it out for a bit. If it's going to have Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega, very interested in seeing what happens there in a few months. But before that, you're going to have AEW title defended between Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy because Jungle Boy won a Casino Royale Battle Royal to get a number one contendership spot because the NBA playoffs, TNT is not doing their typical Wednesday nights with AEW. They're putting them on like Friday or Saturdays, and the ratings have not been good. For the couple of weeks that NXT went to Tuesdays, Dynamite was at least coming close to a million. I think it had a million the first week, and then like 800,000, 900,000. But you put it to Fridays, it was getting like 400, 500,000. That's no bueno. Why is that no bueno? Because AEW is no longer going to be on TNT anymore, buddy. AEW is going to be on TBS now. So I think it's part of a brand of longevity and keeping the existence of this organization that's only going to year two because Warner Media, who owns TNT, AT&T owns them, all that stuff. Now they're merging with Discovery, and it's like weird stuff.
I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, they're gonna have to start juggling their properties right now that they have because they got, they got the NBA. They're getting the NHL.
Yep.
And so you still have AEW, and of
they'll be on
course
TBS.
every October they have baseball. So
Yeah, and that's the concerning part about TBS is because you have baseball, but what else do you have on TBS? College basketball. So I think it's going to get preempted as well in March. So we're going to see what happens there. But I think it's good for them to at least not get canceled because with a big organization that's more about the entertainment industry, if they don't understand the concept of wrestling as sports entertainment, that always leads to a cancel culture. Unlike a certain organization, there's a big rumor that there might be a sell. We'll talk about that in a second. Going to the other wrestling bits, New Japan. Shingo Takagi, my boy, the Dragon is now the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This is stuff I tried to talk about on the last show, and then I got cut off because why? It was too good. It was too much a prediction. It was too much a spoiler. To which the international powers.
For anybody who wants to listen to the last episode, the last 15 minutes are a mystery.
It's not a mystery, it's a conspiracy because what happened was the Wrestling Legion of Doom, led by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, saw that I was too into it and I was going to make some seismic changes, and they cut me off. They censored me, but I'm back, baby. So what happened, to give updates, Will Ospreay, after he had his match with Shingo Takagi at the last championship match I have, he was injured. He had to vacate his title. Real injury. They don't pull off that whole thing like WWE does where it's like, oh, there's a fake injury, so we're going to title, haha. It was like a legitimate thing. Ospreay's neck's like busted up. So Shingo was going to go against Kazuchika Okada, who I love me, the Rainmaker. He's good. I love me, Shingo Takagi. You know I do. He's the only one I hype you about with the New Japan stuff because he's just so cool. They had the match on Monday. And now Shingo Takagi is the proud champion of the Transformers title, as I call it, because that's how it looks like. It reminds me of the Bellflower from Mario. Very happy for him. This is his first run with the title. He's been with New Japan for 3 years now because he was in Dragon Gate and then he did some stuff with Ring of Honor, but now he's there, part of Los Ingobernables de Japón. Very interested in seeing who they feud with. Okada, some people are like, oh, well, Okada can't lose all the time. Okada's a main event. He's like John Cena. It's like it's there. He's always gonna be in the main event scene. So let him put over that new talent because New Japan needs that. Even though Takagi's like 38, you got Minoru Suzuki still killing it at 52. So you can keep wrestling for a while. But this is good. He's gonna go against Kota Ibushi, the former champion, the one that Ospreay took it from, the original New Japan, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So they can put that filler in there. And either I feel Jay White will probably be the one who takes it from Shingo after he loses the Never title, or they might pull a silly one and just have Hiroshi Tanahashi be the one who gets in a couple months from now. But I think this is a good move. They just need to kind of rebranch. Bring it into the bifurcation because we're actually talking about happy stuff of wrestling. Boy, budget cuts, man. I've worked in retail. I'm an attorney. I oversee part of a program. I understand the concepts of trying to, rub two nickels to make a dime kind of thing and save as much as you can. Last week stung. the COVID pandemic has been kind of like a big fortitude for Vince McMahon to make most money that he can get. He's made not one but two basically billion-dollar sales with Fox, and that was before the COVID, and then what they did with Peacock. But there was budget cuts that came in, and what you have to remember is that even though the wrestlers, this is their profession, this is their craft, this is what they specialize in, and now with them getting released, there's this silly non-compete, which I never got, and we're lawyers. I never understood non-competes because I don't work for you anymore. Why is it should I be prohibited from going to seek
Ah, yes.
employment
I
for
remember
any
that from contracts.
exactly, but it's even complicated because it's not. Imagine just saying, okay, you can't work within the competitor within 10, 15, 30 days. You can't go work for somebody for 90 days.
Yeah.
And for WWE, remember the big issue for about a year ago is that he's saying that they're independent contractors. So how am I an independent contractor, but then in my contract I can't go freelance?
Exactly.
It's a paradox.
Yeah.
Because why? You don't have real lawyers looking at the damn contract. And probably the problem was is that even if you did,
Do some pro bono, Charles.
maybe, right? Let me get on my soapbox. Part of the problem is that even if you did, Vince would probably say, "All right, don't sign the contract then." So you want to go in the Indies and make the pool hall money and not get any coverage or anything like that? I don't know, man. Because when you get in the big leagues, a downside guarantee contract with the merchandise. But Vince has taken that year to kind of like cut the budget out, cut out people he didn't need, cut out executives and all that stuff, and then you have wrestlers who are cut. And then some of them kind of sung like I knew Rusev was going Miro, but I was like, okay, but none of them really hit me. Last week hit me hard, man, because they didn't release just one, but they released two wrestlers that I'm a big fan of. And then they released some other ones. It's like, okay, best of luck kind of thing. But Aleister Black's gone. Very sad, very awkward. I liked him. I've seen him in person numerous times when I used to go see NXT. Always liked his style. He had kind of like this dark character with the MMA thing going on. His finisher was a spinning kick with the Black Mass. He had great things in NXT. Did nothing on the main roster because Vince didn't know how to book it because Vince is about characters. And the problem is Vince can't book characters if it's not a character of his own creation. But what's weird about Alistair's release is that there was rumors that his wife, Selena Vega, Thea Trinidad, coming back, and Alistair showed up after being gone for a couple months, like 2 weeks ago. He was doing promos. He showed up. He cost Biggie the SmackDown Intercontinental Tag Team, or not Tag Team, Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown, and you thought that was going to feud, and then you find out he was released, and you're like, what the hell? What is this? Because imagine being a casual viewer. You don't see all the time. You're like, okay, I see Alistair. Okay, he's kicking Biggie in the face. Okay. A couple weeks later, like, he got fired? What are we doing with the storyline now? Because this is a soap opera. It reminds me of the soap operas I watched General Hospital when I was a kid growing up. I was always, I love me some Jason and Sam. Go from there. Jason Morgan. You guys don't watch that? Come on. Yeah, I didn't get into it. But sometimes in soap operas, when they recast people, they pander to the audience and they go say the role of such and such is now being played by they did when Carly, when the second Carly actress left, like the role of Carly is now
Get a different Viv in there. Come on now.
Yeah, so it's like what can you do with it? But now Alistair's out, and then they release Braun Strowman. What? Like, I get it because the rumor of the contracts, and they're rumors, is speculation, but it makes sense in your head, is that he was making like $1 million per year in his contract renegotiation that he signed from 2019 and 2022 or 2023. And if Vince is trying to maximize profits, cut budget costs, getting rid of a wrestler who is absorbing that much in the contract, and he is injured, sure, but he sells merch, he gets with the crowds. I think it would have been perfect coming back for the tour. Vince just kind of probably made a very hard decision. Say, hey, go from there. Follow the same equivalent. Like, hey, Hogan, you're going to go. They're going to pay you more money in WCW. Go. I don't want you. Because, yeah, remember, Hulk Hogan was never with WWF full time. In fact, the best Hogans I know was Hollywood Hogan over in WCW when he was NWO, baby. Wish I could say the same for Randy Savage, but, Hogan pisses on everybody that comes around him, right? Watch the Macho Man biographies on A&E. I don't know if I like those. I try to watch them, but I feel like they're too pandering. Though I do want to watch the Bret Hart one, but I want them to talk about the Montreal Screwjob all the time. But now Braun Strowman's out. I have a Braun Strowman shirt. I have two of them. I think they're interesting. I think he's a fun character. And it's terrible that the last WrestleMania match that you have in your wrestling existence is putting over Shane McMahon and giving a competent match. Terrible. Part of the problem, and Booker T had an interesting thing on his podcast. He was saying that the problem with Braun was just he was so big there was only like 2 or 3 legitimate guys that could have really gone with him that you could have done creatively wise to make him seem like one of the guys. But are we saying that's his fault for being like 6'9", 6'10", and jacked of that nature? So it's just kind of disappointing, but I'm sure both of them will be on the feet. All you hope for all release talents to get on their feet, but it was such a shocker, and it leads to the question: is Vince going to sell? And it ain't going to be now. It ain't going to be later. It's probably, I would say, within a 3-4 year window because he's going to sell it at its highest peak. Enumerate a lot of the budgets. What he's probably going to do is simplify the cast because remember, wrestling is scripted. Sorry to tell you this, but you do it like a TV show. You have the same contracted actors. You do not have this whole big spiel of all these actors coming out because that's money, that's negotiations, that's time. So what I can see him doing is trimming that roster very thin, merging the brands, going back to people wrestling on Raw, people wrestling on SmackDown is the same thing because it's what he did years ago, but for a different focus. I can see him merging the tag titles. I can see him merging the women's belt. You can keep Raw and SmackDown titles to themselves in the main title, the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship. The Universal Championship is the main title in my eyes. Roman's fantastic. But what happens is if you do sell it to a big organization, Fox maybe, part of me thinks it could go to ESPN because who owns ESPN? The mouse. And what is the mouse? It's a monopoly. And what does the SEC not try to break up? The mouse. But now I can see them dabbling into sports entertainment to a degree because doesn't that sound fun on Disneyland aside from going and meet Mickey, who's not really Mickey, but just
WWE World
exactly.
or Land
some,
or whatever.
Some 19-year-old kid who's jacked up on steroids, acting like he's Hulk Hogan. The toys, man, it's an easy sell. It's easy problem. You remember the wrestling buddies? When we were kids, you just get them at Toys R Us or Walmart. You can slam them back. You get the title belts. Anything is marketable because is wrestling not the best? It went from being a carny show to something that's so.
Get Pixar to make a wrestling movie or whatever.
But it can happen. You have wrestling. You have freaking Guatemala, which I love.
Yeah.
But what's the whole thing? Lucha Libre. You have Nacho Libre. Not that good of a movie, but it's something there. You have the Academy-nominated movie, The Wrestler, with Mickey Rourke. Marissa Tomei, David Fincher, I think, directed it. It's profitable. It's merchandisable. And the reason why maybe you put that big sell to WWE and Vince's head is because it has credibility and clout. The product might suck. You worry about what happens if you put over the rights and licensing to something to people who don't know wrestling. But, we do that as talking figureheads for sports. None of us ever played the game of sports. I can't talk to you about X and O's. I was never coached by Coach K, who's retiring now, and I think it's because Roy Williams retired and he lost his spirit at the competition of Chapel Hill.
I'm saying he's getting out while he still can before, I don't know, something pops up, some violations. I have no idea.
Dude, he's been in Duke for like 40 years, like 30 years. Like, it would have happened where it happened, right? Taylor,
who knows?
Who knows? But the point of being is that it has credibility, it has clout, it has recognition, it has name brand. You know what WWE is. And I think that's what makes it profitable to any organizations. Even today, I'm going to give you the big example because I can see ESPN and the Disney subsidiaries attacking it. Whether or not we believe it's a different story, but it's not going to be Universal or have the Peacock thing. They overpay that. I love it, but that's on them. Look at Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins was a movie with Julie Andrews in 1960-something, 1970-something. You know the songs, whatever. What did they make 3 years ago? Mary Poppins Returns. You don't even have the same cast. Yep. I think you get a Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke is still there.
Yeah, you get a Dick Van Dyke cameo. But that's what I'm saying because Disney's just going to be my prime opportunity because I can see them doing it because Disney likes to milk that cow until the udders don't exist anymore. Want to know how I know? Why does Cruella have a movie? This whole idolization of villains.
Look what they did in Star Wars. I mean, sheesh.
Don't get me started. Where they want to, skin alive a puppy should not get her own movie. The live action movies and movies they're seeing.
Listen, if Disney owned Nintendo, at least we could get a new F-Zero game. Come on now.
We can get a new Star Fox. My God, Star Fox is the most marked. Disney should want that.
Oh, Disney would absolutely. Look,
with spaceships.
I'm surprised Nintendo. So Nintendo's slowly trying to market their aside from Pokemon, which is a whole different thing. But you're gonna get a Mario movie. They got a Mario World and Universal Studios out there in Japan. I'm just saying, a Star Fox series, animated series.
I'll watch it.
It doesn't have to be just a limited series. 2-3 seasons. I don't know.
Francisco, if you gave me a Gundam-esque style Star Fox, I'm binging that.
Oh yeah. I mean, just think of all this. I mean, God, he loses his father. You can go deep into the politics of whatever the world. All that's in there.
We made it. To go off on that tangent and bring it back, because I know we're running really
This is
over
what
time.
happens when you get the Andrew-less show.
But we're making some good points. But here's the thing: you shave it, you wait like 3 to 5 years, you maximize the profit and detail, you consolidate the cast of people, because it's not just the wrestlers, it's the writers, the producers, the road agents, the executives, and then you sell it at max value. Because now you're going to get fans back. Now you're going to do this. Now you're going to show there. You're going to have Peacock coming in strong. What happens is you let the years worth of Peacock show as a cross relation. Like, oh, we have good relationships because we have, oh my God, we won't put it on Disney Plus because, we just want to put crappy MCU secondary shows that really make no difference. Mind you, I haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I'll get to that point eventually. I don't care about Wanda missing her, robot husband. Whatever. Vision's not cool in the comics, maybe, but he's not cool in the show. And they nerfed down Wanda. I'm a comic reader, and it bothers me. But there's potential. So there's just like that big organization that wants to come into it. Because why do I think of that? If someone was willing to buy and rebrand for the XFL, and now the USFL, that has been resurrected, as mentioned by Freddie earlier, you mean to tell me no big organizations might want to take a chance on wrestling? Because wrestling, it hits all walks of life. It's not just some 31-year-old geeked out lawyer who likes wrestling. It's the old people. It's the kids. It's a family event. And then it can, Disney attractions. Oh my God, what if we put them wrestlers on the road? Buddy, this is almost the greatest equivalent of me being a kid watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rock show.
Yeah.
That was on VHS, and I could have been there in concert. Terrible show, but I loved it then. Not a show, but like a special. There's profit into it. And because of longevity, no one's really going to want to buy AEW because it's only been 2 years, right? But you have a 30-plus year, 40-plus year, I got to do math, coming into it where there might be some profits. It might be a way of going more money because at the end of the day, if you treat it like a stage production, there's so much you can do. A lot of shows get reboots, a lot of shows get anthologies, a lot of shows get adaptations. Hell, Cowboy Bebop is getting a live-action show, but I don't even think I need it, but I'll watch it. They even got the composer back coming in, bringing the weebs all together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I see where the state's going. Vince will sell because Vince, I think, wants to cash out a lot of money. He's 70-something. I don't think he really cares about the legacy because everybody knows WWE is Vince and Kenny McMahon. But I think you want to cash out at the top instead of going bankrupt because who went bankrupt into it? We're not bankrupt, but failed unsuccessfully. The person he was competing against so long in the Monday Night Wars, which was Ted Turner. One day you had to just fold. And I think Vince is a competitive human being. Don't know him, but this is just why he's a competitive. He'd rather die on his feet than live on his knees. He doesn't want to be the guy on the other side where you lose that coin toss. And imagine the height of it is like you were about to go under for the Monday Night Wars. You almost went to jail for distribution of steroids, allegedly. You let all your other big stars, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, all these other guys go to WCW, and you cap it all out, and you get bought out by Disney, as an example. That's the biggest win. Because you know who sold out to Disney? George Lucas. George probably had ideas for 7, 8, and 9. Yep. Sold out to Disney for $1 billion+. You give Vince $3 billion, he'll take it, and he'll go sip some Mai Tais, and he'll find a way to keep the licensings to it, too. He'll get residuals, he'll get royalties. That's all I got for you, Cage. I can talk more about it, but it was an interesting component of how I looked at this.
Okay. All right, guys. That is it. We actually got through an entire episode. Look at that. Internet didn't crap out any of that stuff. I might play Rocket League tonight. I'm feeling good about the internet today. It won't kick me out of matches. Yeah. So, now, update. The Lightning are moving on to the Final Four for the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs. So, Andrew is happy. And, yeah, Canes just kind of crapped the bed in this one. They lost 2-0. So, there you go. And, let's see. Vegas versus Colorado. That's a fun series right now. That is a very fun series. Let's see. Braves are beating the Phillies. What happened to the Marlins? They're up 6-2. That's a good thing that's happening right now. Let's see. Red Sox are still losing, Charles. There you go.
Yay!
Go Astros.
Go Astros.
and yeah, the Yanks play against the Twins right now, right? They're playing right now. You guys are losing 2-0. What the hell?
It's over, man. That pitching shot. You already know this.
Who's on the mound for you guys?
If it's Jameson Tylen, I'm going to lose my shit because that's the guy who I don't like on my team.
Montgomery.
Oh, because he's not. Jordan's not a full-out pitcher. I said it. That back nine. And then, Garrett Cole, they're saying that he's using foreign substance. Well,
I mean, that's the
that
next
doesn't
big
even
thing.
it doesn't even matter anymore because we haven't whatsoever removed a championship from a team that used trash cans. I don't want to hear
And
anybody complain.
everybody's using substances right now. That's a widespread thing that's happening. That's about to go down, especially once Josh Donaldson gets his whole evidence together.
Yeah, well, you know what? Be better. Be a better hitter. Be a better hitter. Or you know what? Bring back steroids. That's all I got on that.
All right, folks. So we are out. We'll see you guys maybe next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'm here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, kids.